Welcome to Biola University, everybody, as the Oaks looking to finish this game 2 against the SoCal Catch. And with that, we'd like to welcome everybody into the broadcast. I'm Jonah Malkin, alongside me, Jonathan Rifkin. And Jonathan, there's still work left to be done for the Oaks, heading into the bottom of the 11th against the SoCal Catch, bringing you back up to date for what transpired in the top of the 11th. Grant Robbins led off with a strikeout, followed by Toby Johnson advancing on base because of an error. Shea Whitcomb in the third spot hit a grounder to first. Stephen Garrett delivered the RBI single that brought Johnson all the way home, that gave the Catch a 6-5 lead. And Evan Sandman, with 2 outs, lined one out to third base to conclude the top of the 11th. Now the Oaks have one more opportunity to try and at least tie this game or potentially walk off with the win. Right now, Johnny, when you look at the starting lineups, which I'll give to you in just a moment, let's talk about their performance yesterday. Right now, they've left 5 on base and 2 errors, but they've only been able to generate 6 hits. And we talked about the disparity between the 12 hits for the Catch and the 6 errors, but the Oaks just haven't been able to capitalize on any offense.
They haven't, and there's also another interesting aspect you have to think about, Jonah. Yes, this is the bottom of the 11th inning. Yes, this is a 6-5 game. The Oaks have to catch up, but there's a dynamic shift, and I'll get back to your point in just a minute, but I just want to reiterate the fact that they have to play on the road as a home team. So now they have to play the bottom of the 11th inning on a field that they were not at last night, a field that they are not as comfortable with, and they have to take a 6-5 deficit in the bottom of the 11th inning and turn it around in hostile territory. So not only does this game that was called due to darkness extended into today hurt the team because they have to wait a whole 17 hours to play, but they have to deal with the fact now that they're playing at a different field, and that is a different mindset for this team and something that they have to figure out how to deal with because it's not going to be easy. Now, going back to what you were saying, talking about the Oaks coming into this bottom of the 11th today, like you said, 5 runs, 6 hits, only 2 errors, and they've only left 5 on base. 6 errors for the Catch. 6 errors. I don't care if they have twice as many hits as the Oaks. They have 6 errors. There is no excuse for this team to be losing this game right now, except for the fact that they cannot put the ball in play in a way that favors them. And it really hurts them because you look at, they were retired from the 6th inning yesterday, actually from the 5th inning yesterday until Sam Shaken got hit in the 9th inning. They were retired in a row with the exception, of a hit by pitch. That's 15 straight batters that were retired in a row for the Oaks. That is a bad number against a team that is not phenomenal at pitching, a team that is 18-19 in the CCL, a team that you lost to in a walk-off the previous game. So there is a lot of psychological play going into this for the Oaks, and as a result of that, it's affecting their play on the field. They have to find a way in this bottom of the 11th to channel the offense because the offense just wasn't there for them last night. They have a brand new start today. They have to pretend like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard and that they're playing in the top of the 1st inning, even though it was the bottom of the 11th inning and they're down 6-5, because their mindset is going to be completely different today than it was last night. And that could be good or bad, and I think that may be bad just based on the performance that they had last night coming into the continuation of today's game.
Remember, this is still game 2 of a 3-game series. The Oaks will play after this 11th or continuation of the game at what's scheduled to be 5 o'clock for game 3. Around 4:30 to 5. We'll provide you that once we know for sure. But I think, Johnny, we talked about this in the middle of the game, how I thought it was almost, when you just looked at the errors from both teams and you took out into account the hits and the runs, at the time it was 4-0. Now we can fully evaluate and see that it's 6-2. Most of our impressions were to think that the Oaks should be up, like you've stressed and harped on, but we've talked about it. The Catch have been able to generate twice as many hits, 12 as opposed to 6, and ultimately that's what's given them more opportunities to stay in the game, and now taking the lead in a bottom of the 11th, which for them might not be the most crucial game for the CCL standings, but we know for the Oaks, every single game is imperative, even though the Santa Barbara Foresters are foregoing the playoffs. It's a tight two-man race between now the Oaks and the SLO Blues. And the Oaks have to make 2 more trips up to SLO, so another hostile environment. So any win that you can get before those tough games will give them the best chance to win. But let's give you the infield for
Jonah, before you do that,
I
I do want to just quickly put something in that you kind of glanced at, but we didn't go into context. That is really important. The Blues won 12-0 yesterday against the Ventura Halos. Currently, as it sits, the Oaks are only half a game ahead of them because this game is yet to be decided. If the Oaks lose, they will be tied for second place with the San Luis Obispo Blues. And if the Oaks win, they'll be a full game up on the Blues. The Blues play the Halos again today. The Oaks play the Catch in game number 2. So a lot of implications on the line still, even though we're not out of this first game where the Oaks are losing 6-5.
So the Oaks also, as we mentioned, a couple games against the Blues. They'll also play the Foresters and the Arroyo Seco Saints. But let's give you the infield for the SoCal Catch. Out in left field to start the bottom of the 11th is Grant Robbins. Jonathan Dukoff in center. Anthony Seminaris out in right field. At third base in the infield, Mitchell Booman. And shortstop, Shea Whitcomb. Toby Johnson at second. Stephen Garrett at first base. Kyle Soria behind home plate. And Matthew Wade entering his second inning of work will be on the mound for the Catch. And for the Oaks in today's Game 2, DJ Miller in the leadoff spot, the center fielder from Ole Miss. Max Weinstein, the second baseman from Cal Lutheran in the second spot. Rounding out the top of the order in the third spot, Brandon Lewis, the third baseman from Pierce College. Cody Santana in the cleanup spot, the DH in today's game from Hawaii Pacific. Chase Cockrell at first base from Ole Miss. In the fifth spot, in the sixth spot, Jordan McFarland, the left fielder from Arkansas. And to start the bottom of the order in the seventh spot, Sam Shakin, the shortstop from Valparaiso. Jacob Castro, the catcher from UC Irvine, behind the dish. And Milo Beam, the right fielder, out of Purdue in right field. But we'll get things started. Chase Cockrell, the lead off in the fifth spot. Jordan McFarland behind him on deck.
Jonah, now that I think about it, it's a different umpiring crew too. So not only do the Oaks have to deal with a different field, it's a different umpiring crew. Now that you may say, well, don't most umpires call the game? To say that's not necessarily true. Umpires at times will call games differently depending on how they're feeling, what they're doing. And today, this is a different umpiring crew. As you go through the game, as you see Graham might drop a little move out there in front of us. As you see, as players and teams go throughout the course of a game with a certain umpiring crew, they get a feel for them. They get relations. Sometimes you get calls your way, sometimes you don't. That kind of changes the dynamic between the team and the umpiring crew. You kind of gear your game towards how the game is being called. But today it's a completely different day, completely different umpiring crew. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this team decides to adjust to the away stadium, though they are the home team, and the different umpiring crew. Not to mention, it's about 95 degrees outside right now, and last night, actually it's only about 88, but it feels like 95, but last night when they ended the game, it was 76 in Cal Lutheran, so just a completely different setup, and they have to play today as if they are the home team in the bottom of the 11th inning. It's going to be a very interesting happening for sure.
Certainly is a very hot day here at Biola University. The second time that the Oaks are making their way down here. The last time they played them here was back on July 6th, where the Oaks lost 5-4 on a walk-off home run from Omar Ortiz over Robbie Medell, which was the first earned run he had given up the entire season. Still impressive, 10 for 10 with saves and one loss, but nonetheless, this field has definitely not been the best suited for the Oaks. They struggle in that contest, and Johnny, you talked about it. There is a major difference playing on the road versus playing at home, besides from just the fact that you get a chance to kind of sleep in your own beds and you're used to your pregame music and all of that stuff. It's also now you're riding a 2.5-hour bus. You've been sitting for a long time, stretching, listening to music, and now you don't have much time to warm up, and you just have to play out the bottom of the 11th. And then rebound quickly and play another perhaps 3-hour-long game.
Yeah, both teams without batting practice today. By the way, last night when we concluded the game, we were 3 hours and 2 minutes in. This would add on as an extension, so it started at 4:59 Pacific time yesterday. Got called due to darkness at 8:05, so that's 3 hours and 4 minutes, or 3 hours and 6 minutes, I should say, actually. So we're gonna quickly do the national anthem, and we'll do the bottom 11th, I guess. This is gonna be an interesting one.
A long day in Biola University. Stick with us, guys, the national anthem, and then on to the bottom of the 11th we go.
Everybody who could come out, and I just pray that everyone plays this nice, safe game today. And just thank you for all the blessings you have blessed us with. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Beautiful rendition of our nation's anthem. Welcome back, everybody, to the bottom of the 11th we go in game 2 of the 3-game series. It shifted from Sparky Anderson Field due to darkness, and they're finishing out the game here at Biola University. Another tight contest on the road. Catch lead at 6-5 heading into the bottom of the 11th. And to lead off for the Oaks, pinch hitting in place of Chase Cockrell will be Grant Mayu. Jordan McFarland behind him on deck, and Sam Shaken in the hole. And a new pitcher on the mound for the Catch is Stephen Garrett, who delivered that RBI in the top of the 11th that gave the Catch a 6-5 lead. And behind the dish in place, or I should say actually in place of Garrett at first, will be Tyler Fisher for the Catch. Everyone's got to buckle up. An important game for the CCL for the Oaks. The Catch looking to play spoiler. As Garrett's getting a couple practice throws in place of Matthew Wade, who at the top of the 10th, or the bottom of the 10th, I should say, went 1 inning. Gave up no hits, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout.
Yeah, and for Garrett, Jonah, this is a good spot for the Catch to put him in. First, tied for first on the team in ERA with a 3. He sees the field very well as a fielder. He sees the plate very well as a pitcher. And it's going to be interesting to see how the Oaks deal with the velocity that he throws here early in the day, but late in this game.
And now stepping in is Grant Mayu to get things started for the Oaks in the bottom of the 11th. Looking to perhaps tie this game or walk off with the win. More in an unconventional method on the road, but nonetheless the same home rules still apply. As the first pitch from Garrett is fired and popped back and out of play for 0-1. First pitch time, around 3:32. Garrett comes set, fires the 0-1, popped back against the screen for 0-2. Nobody away, bottom of the 11th. Catch lead at 6-5, and Grant Mayu pinch hitting in place of Chase Cockrell, who was 1 for 4 on the day with a run scored. 0-2. Tapped back against the screen, and we'll do it again. And there certainly isn't the same buzz naturally because this is a continuation of a game, but nonetheless, important nonetheless. 0-2 to Mayu, runs upstairs for ball 1. Garrett came to throw. The last time they played here, just 1 inning, 1 strikeout. Deals the 0-2. Mayu slaps that down the third base line into fair territory. Rounding first and coming to second is Mayu, and the Oaks have a runner in scoring position in the bottom of the 11th.
Isn't it weird to say that the Oaks have a runner in scoring position in the bottom of the 11th, Jonah? It's what, 3:30 or so here at Biola, 3:34, and somehow we've made it 23 hours and 5 minutes past first pitch of yesterday. But with the Oaks, the game-tying run at second base now in the form of Grant Mayu, a lot of speed out there. All they need to do now is get a ball in play, and that should be able to advance them should that ball get down for at least a single.
And this was a similar position that they were in the last time they were in a game that went 11 innings, as Jordan McFarland will step in. Garrett checks Mayu at second, deals the first pitch, taken inside for ball 1. The last time they went 11 innings was back on July 7th when they beat the Ventura County Pirates 8-7, and Jacob Castro hit an RBI single up the middle that brought home DJ Miller for the game-winning run. So a similar position here with nobody away. Garrett deals the 1-0, catches the bottom of the strike zone for strike 1. A 1-1 the count, nobody away. Mayu, the tying run over at second. Just the 7th hit of the game for the Oaks. Garrett's 1-1, swung on and missed for strike 2.
Well, that's a high fastball. That was placed perfectly by Garrett. McFarland had the bat around his shoulders a little bit too early. That fastball eluded him upstairs, and he swung right through it. Very nice strike number 2 pitch.
McFarland 1 for 4 on the day with a run scored and a stolen base. Also was caught in a pickle. 1-2, just misses low and inside to bring the... Actually, will catch the inside corner for strike 3, so 1 out now for the catch.
Yeah, that was one of those unusual situations where instead of motioning the strike 3, the umpire just set it. Makes it a little bit harder on us, but nonetheless, every umpire has their methodology.
So first strikeout for Garrett, bringing in Sam Shaken. Mayu still over at second. Garrett deals the first pitch, up and in for ball 1. Juan Gonzalez will pinch hit in place of Jacob Castro on deck. But for Shaken on the day, he's 1 for 3 with a single, a strikeout, fly out, and was also hit by a pitch. Garrett deals the 1-0, slap back against the screen for 1-1.
And this is someone you want to have up in this situation. Tying run at second base, 1 out on the board. Shaken does a very good job making contact. Yes, he has struck out once in this game. That was yesterday, obviously, but kind of a fresh mindset, and he's normally very good early in games, and I assume that's how he's approaching this at-bat.
Garrett takes the sign from Soria, comes set on the mound. Fires the 1-1, swung on and missed for strike 2.
Oh, what a beautiful fastball, just right past Shaken, way off balance, over the heart of the plate at the knees. Shaken went digging and came out with nothing.
Mayu led off with a stand-up double, followed by a strikeout to McFarland, and Shaken's down in the count 1-2. Garrett checks Mayu at second, working out of the stretch. Will step off and check him. And the last thing you want to do if you're the catch is give up a stolen base. Now, if you're Mayu, you probably don't want to take that chance of getting caught. But a nice heads-up play from Garrett just in case. 1-2, runs up and in for ball 2.
Now Shaken just has to work the count. This is exactly what the Oaks have been working on this season, staying patient. Yes, you were down in the count. Don't worry, you're still going to see a couple of balls. Wait for your pitch. That's the one to hit, and it will come. And if it doesn't come, you will get walked. Just keep fighting, and that was a good take.
Garrett Fires the 2-2, low for ball 3, past the glove of Soria. And Mayu's over at third with the tying run for the Oaks in the bottom of the 11th.
90 feet away now, Jonah. That's what the Oaks need on that pass ball. That one was right in Suria's glove. Unfortunately, he kind of just let it go past him, and Mayu, who hesitated from second, still had enough time to get the third. That is a break for the Oaks, but they have to capitalize.
Third full count situation now for the Oaks in today's game, and now they're in a golden opportunity to try and tie this thing up. Garrett's payoff pitch runs upstairs for ball 4. Shakin's going to get walked over to first. The first walk of the day for Garrett, and the Oaks have runners on the corners. Still one away. Umpire will call for time. Juan Gonzalez will step in. Pinch hitting for Jacob Castro. So Shakin's over at first on the walk. Mayu at third. Still just one out. And Juan Gonzalez, the second of 3 catchers for the Oaks to step in. As we mentioned, taking the place of Jacob Castro. And Zane Willems rounding out the 3 catchers for them. Garrett's first pitch runs low and outside for ball 1.
This is a big spot here for the Oaks. Not only do they have the tying run at third, but they have the game-winning run at first. And this is eerily familiar to last year when the Oaks had to make up a game. I'll get more into that after this game's over, depending on the outcome. It's very interesting how it plays out.
Garrett fires the 1-0, taken for strike 1. And for Castro on the day, he was 1 for 4 with an RBI single in the second, a run scored in the second, and a stolen base. Did all of his damage in the second, then had a fly out and a couple ground outs. Garrett deals the 1-1, just misses above the strike zone for 2-1. Good eye from Gonzalez. A curveball that started up in the shoulders but didn't drop into the strike zone, and Gonzalez is ahead in the count 2-1. Garrett deals. Fouled back against the screen for 2-2.
Yeah, and Gonzalez decided to swing up on that. He wanted to fly one out to center or to right, or actually, excuse me, to left. Try to get Mayu in on a sacrifice. Unfortunately, the ball just a little bit above him, and he ended up just fouling it back.
Big spot for the Oaks. Mayu over at third, Shakin at first with 1 out. 2-2 from Garrett is swung on and missed for strike 3. Oaks have 2 away now in the bottom of the 11th. Second strikeout on the game for Garrett.
Yeah, nice pitch there. Just a little bit too low for Gonzalez, able to reach it. Unfortunately, just missing, but still not a bad spot with Milo Beam stepping in. Jonah, a very good contact hitter for the Oaks, and he has been phenomenal as of late for this team in a very clutch situation here. And this is a big part of the Oaks that needs to change. Runners in scoring position with less than 2 outs, and they have a lot of trouble scoring them. We had a runner in scoring position with nobody away, a runner in scoring position over at third with 1 away, and the Oaks still have not been able to capitalize.
Beam 2 for 4 on the day with a 2 RBI double. First pitch from Garrett is slapped into right field, and Seminaris will make the catch for out number 3. So the Oaks can't plate any runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. The Catch take game 2, 6-5 over the Oaks. A nice performance from them. The Oaks made a last effort. A great start. Grant Mayu led off with a stand-up double. A walk drawn from Sam Shakin. A passed ball got past the glove of Soria to advance Mayu to third in scoring position, but the Oaks coming up short. They now drop to 15-12 in the CCL, 23-14 overall. Remember that they will play a third game against the Catch today at Biola University in about 45 minutes. But Jonathan, quickly, what are your thoughts after this game? We talked about guys left on base. The Oaks a total of 7 versus the Catch 11, but I think it came down to the hits, the disparity in the hits.
Yeah, the runners left on base was not the difference in the game. It was the lack of hits and the lack of opportunities that they had to capitalize. The Catch yesterday when this game started gave them the opportunity to come back and win this game. There were so many opportunities where the Catch handed base runners to the Oaks. They handed hit opportunities to the Oaks. And the Oaks never capitalized. And when you don't capitalize, you don't win games. That's exactly what happened. And they're going to have to turn it around if they want to win today in the later game. And if they want to win tomorrow in San Luis Obispo, which will be the first of the most important games of the season for this team.
And in this game, Rami Bendel is the losing pitcher. He went 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 run. It wasn't earned, unfortunately, with no walks and 2 strikeouts. The winning pitcher was Matthew Wade. Pitched 1 inning, gave up no hits, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. The save goes to Stephen Garrett, the multifaceted batter as well as pitcher for the Catch. Went 1 inning, just gave up 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Well, that'll do it for Game 2 of the 3-game series. Remember to stick with us and check back on the live stream in 30 minutes. But for Game 2, the Catch take it 6-5 here at Biola University. I'm Jonah Malkin and Jonathan Rifkind alongside me. Get set. We still have 1 more game to play.
Welcome to Biola University for the second game of today, or I guess you could say the first game after the bottom of the 11th inning. Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkin, Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Start time is a little bit earlier than the original 4:30 start. It's now at 4 because of the bottom of the 11th. And I'm sure the teams are happy about that because the earlier this game starts, that means the earlier they can get out of here. The Oaks just lost it in the bottom of the 11th, 6-5. They had the game-tying run at third base with only one away, and they couldn't bring Mayu in. Shaken was stranded at first thereafter. For the Oaks right now, game number 2 against the Catch in the series. The season series, this is game number 3. The Oaks have dropped both of them now. And they're currently tied for second in the CCL Central with the San Luis Obispo Blues. Why is that important? Well, because with the Forcers foregoing the playoffs, the number 2 team in the Central will get the playoff bid. So every game is that important for the Oaks. Give you the starting lineups. First for the visiting Caneo Oaks. Coming in today's game at 23-14 overall, 15-12 in the CCL. This is game number 38 of the season. Like I said, just coming off a loss against the Catch. Milo Beam batting first out in right field from Purdue. Max Weinstein behind him in second base from Cal Lutheran. Brandon Lewis batting third out in left field from Pierce. The cleanup man for the Oaks today. Grant Mayu playing third base from San Diego State. DJ Miller occupies the 5th spot out in center field from Ole Miss. Cody Santana occupies the 6th spot over at first base from Hawaii Pacific. Chase Cockrell in the 7th spot, DHing from Ole Miss. In the 8th spot, Juan Gonzalez catching from Oklahoma Baptist, and to round out the Oaks order, Sam Shaken, the shortstop from Valparaiso. On the mound for the Oaks will be David Appleby. The field here for Coach Dan Peters, the SoCal Catch, coming today's game at 9-19 in the CCL, 13-22 overall. Jonathan Dukoff in right, Nate Pacoda in center, Grant Robinson left, Stephen Garrett at first, Toby Johnson occupying second, Shea Whitcomb at short, Mitch Buman at third, behind the dish, Tyler Fisher. And on the mound, Bailey Martin from Miami University of Hawaii. He did start back on July 6th. When both these teams played, the Oaks got walked off in the bottom of the 9th, ended up losing 5-4. He went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts, so 4s across the board for him, but the Oaks ended up losing, giving up their lead to the Catch. That eventually led to the loss. He's currently warming up on the mound. Like I said, the Oaks had to continue their bottom of the 11th today because last night's game got called due to darkness, if you were with us for that game. It was a rough one. The Oaks had Grant Mayu lead off. He was able to double, advance to third on a wild pitch after 1 away. Shaken walked, and they couldn't do anything else. The Oaks stranded the tying run at third base. But today's a new game, I guess you could say. As stepping in will be Milo Beam from Purdue. The Oaks sporting their baby blues with white letters on the front, outlined by navy blue and navy blue numbers on the back. Martin deals the first pitch. Beam shows bump, pulled back, taken outside for ball 1. First pitch time here at Biola, 4 o'clock. 86 degrees with a slight breeze out towards center field. The 1-0 slapped foul for 1-1. Big game here for the Oaks, like I mentioned. Both the Blues and the Oaks tied at 15-12 for the CCL Central mark. Or second place, I should say. 1-1 in. Cut back at foul into Fisher's glove for strike number 2. Taking the sign from Fisher is Martin. Toes the rubber, peers and fires the 1-2. Way upstairs, it goes past the glove of Fisher against the backstop. And that'll leave in the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And Beam trying to redeem himself was the final out of the last game. And a quick turnaround as the first batter in this game.
Beam digs back in. He was in the 9th spot in yesterday's game. Ended up going 2 for 5. The 2-2 in. Southpaw takes it upstairs. That brings the count full now. So a good start to the game for the Oaks. They get a full count here for Beam. He's going to try to work his way onto base, either by way of a walk or if he can make Martin throw a mistake pitch. The 3-2 paints the outside corner for strike 3, and instead of that, Beam ends up looking at a called strike. 6 pitches in and 1 out up on the board for Max Weinstein.
Beautiful pitch from Martin, kept that fastball low. And Beam couldn't tell whether that was going to drop below and instead just saw it sail right through the strike zone.
Max Weinstein now steps in. Sporting the purple Cal Lutheran Kingsman helmet. First pitch runs upstairs for ball 1. The catcher in their red uniforms with white letters on the front, with a gray number on the bottom left of the front part of the jersey. The back with white numbers and white names of the players atop those numbers. 1-0, skied into center field. Bakoto will run back on it, short of the warning track to make the catch for out number 2. Weinstein got a lot of that one, but not enough to get it out. 2 away now, top of the first for Brandon Lewis. Dimensions here are a little bit shorter out in center and right center and left center than Cal Lutheran, but further in right and left field lines. 345 down the right field line, 365 in right center, 380 to straightaway center. That's the deepest part of the ballpark. 345 to left center, 340 to left down the left field line. Lewis steps in. Martin deals, cut back against the screen for strike 1. Mayu on deck in the cleanup spot in today's game. Brandon Lewis from LA Pierce Junior College in his freshman season batted .419 with 24 home runs. Under head coach Bill Pickett, was committed to CSUN, but decommitted a couple of weeks ago and looking for a new home in the fall. Martin deals the 0-1 upstairs. That evens the count. 1 ball and a strike, 2 away here, top of the first inning in Biola. Final time the Oaks will be here, but the first of 4 road games. They'll be up in San Luis Obispo tomorrow, Santa Barbara on Friday, and Pasadena on Saturday. 1-1 in for Martin. Swung and a miss for strike 2.
Beautiful pace from Martin. Such a smooth delivery. Wasn't overextending his arm, got his leg up high, but most importantly stayed balanced and followed all the way through that pitch.
Lewis rests that bat on his right shoulder as Martin from the stretch. Pearson fires the 1-2 low for ball 2. 2's across the board now, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. The catch before winning the first game against the Oaks of the week series, and are currently up 2-0 in the season series. They lost to the Arroyo Seco Saints 2 days ago. Martin on the sidestep deals the 2-2. Fouled back into the glove of Fisher for strike 3. Slow top of the first here for the Oaks. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. 2 of the 3 outs are strikeouts. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV from Biola University. No score. The catcher looked to change that in the bottom half of the first inning. Bottom of the first inning here from Biola University. Welcome back, everybody. Oaks baseball on KDTV. He's Jonah Malkin. I'm Jonathan Rifkin. 0-0 our score. David Appleby will be on the mound here for the Oaks in his first start of the season from Santa Barbara City College by way of the University of Utah Nagora High School. The starting lineup for head coach Dan Peters and the SoCal Catch. Leading off for them will be Grant Robbins playing left field from UNLV. Toby Johnson behind him from Arkansas State University. In the 3 spot, Shea Whitcomb from UCSD. Stephen Garrett cleans things up for the Catch from Azusa Pacific University. From the Dallas Baptist University in the 5th spot, Evan Sandman behind him. Jonathan Dukoff from Houston Baptist. Mitch Buman in the 7th spot from White Pacific. In the 8th spot, Tyler Fisher from Olivet Nazarene University. And Nate Pacoda rounds out the order for the Catch from William Jewell College. The field for the Oaks, Milo Beeman right, DJ Miller in center, Brandon Lewis in left, Cody Santana over at first, Max Weinstein occupies second, Sam Shakin at short, Grant Mayu playing third in today's game, and Juan Gonzalez behind the dish, as I mentioned. On the mound is David Appleby for the Oaks. Has come in as a reliever for the majority of the season here, getting a start. The Oaks short on pitching staff. No Erickson Landing, no Kenny Johnson. No Joey DeSigli. Grant Robbins digs in from UNLV and takes the first pitch over the heart of the plate for strike one. Appleby is unsure where he's going in the fall after a year at Santa Barbara City College, but he has been looking at Chicago State and Michigan, amongst others. Highly touted right-handed pitcher from the area. Does a very good job. 0-1 runs low. 1-1 the count. It was a fastball, a slider, changeup. All for control. 1-1. Right at the knees for strike two. A beautiful fastball. Fastball ranges between about 89 and 91 miles an hour by way of our statistician Keith Schneider. And when it's on, it's very hard to hit. Appleby deals the 1-2, skied in the left field, and that one is going to be fair. Rounding first and heading over to second is Robbins, where he will stand with a leadoff stand-up double here in the bottom of the first inning for the catch.
Well, you can't have could have scripted a better start for the catch, a stand-up double after a tight win at home. And the catch playing well early.
Toby Johnson now, to the tune of Santana's guitar, digs in. The Arkansas State Red Wolf in the second spot in the lineup. Yesterday he also batted second. Actually the top five players in the lineup for Dan Peters today, the same as last night's game. Johnson ended up going 1-2 actually for 5. 0-0 taken outside for ball one. Good job by Gonzalez, able to grab it. Keep Robbins at bay at second base. Shout out to Appleby's father, Lee, in Austin, Texas, but we know he's listening to the broadcast. Hope you're enjoying the barbecue down south and doing your best to stay cool. We know it's hot. 1-0. Slapped foul towards first base. That'll even the count of 1 ball and a strike. Wind picking up now towards center field. Shifting towards left somewhat, but pretty intermediately. Appleby takes the sign from Gonzalez, comes set, checks the runner at second, and deals the 1-1 low for ball 2.
Good eye from Johnson, not to be enticed by the low pitch. Instead stays disciplined, gets himself ahead of the count.
Not a huge turnout here for Biola. Game that was scheduled to start at 4:30 started at 4 o'clock due to the bottom of the 11th being played out at 3:30. 2-1 runs away for ball 3. So people still going to trickle in throughout the first hour and a half of this game, I'd say. The Oaks were scheduled to go to Angel Stadium after today's game on behalf of Mike Sosha, but they couldn't get today's game moved back. So now they will be doing that on Saturday after the game against the Arroyo Seco Saints in Pasadena. 3-1. Runs low for ball 4, and following the double by Grant Robbins, Toby Johnson walks to occupy first base. First and second now, bottom of the first, nobody away for Shea Whitcomb.
And I think for Appleby, he's really good when he's composed on the mound. And right now he's going away from what he typically does, which is pitching straight at batters. Instead, he's trying to pitch around them. And that's why the catch have picked on and are starting to lay off. So I think for Appleby, he's a great contact pitcher. Just should go straight at the batters.
Triton steps in, the 0-0. Taken at the knees for strike one. Whitcomb thought about going, held back, but nonetheless, a beautiful fastball right over the heart of the plate at the knees. Stephen Garrett waiting on deck. Evan Sandman in the hole. No score here. A hit for the catch, but 2 on. Wind now shifts towards the pitcher's mound. The 0-1. Sliced foul off the foot of Whitcomb. And Appleby is finally ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
That one's going to hurt if you're Whitcomb. Had a full swing, sliced that ball against his leg. But he's shaking that off nicely.
Takes a couple practice swings and digs back in. Appleby on the rubber, comes set. And deals the 0-2 inside for ball 1. Just got away from him a little bit. You could tell on the release that he really sit out towards the side of his body as opposed to over his shoulder where he normally does, and that resulted in the inside ball. Appleby played his high school ball at Agora High School. Freshman year was at Utah where he redshirted. 1-2, right back to the mound, speared by Appleby on the hop to Mayu at second. The relay to first in time for the 1-6-3 double play. Way to field the position over on the mound by Appleby. Advancing to third on the play is Robbins, but 2 outs on the board now.
A nice heads-up play from Appleby. Had little time to react after Whitcomb lined one right at him on the one hopper. Is able to quickly corral it, turn, make the play to shake in a second. A nice double play for the Oaks.
Going back to Appleby after he redshirted his freshman year at Utah, played at Santa Barbara City College. And now looking for a new home in the fall. Stephen Garrett digs in now. 1 runner on, 2 away. First pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. And for Garrett from Azusa Pacific, cleanup batter in yesterday's game. Ended up going 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs, 2 singles, a stolen base, a run scored, and a sacrifice. Productive day for him, 0-1. Runs low and away for ball 1. That evens the count. He was also the pitcher who got the save in the bottom of the 11th inning. Came in, faced 5 batters, struck out 2, gave up a hit, a walk, and a flyout. So multifaceted player here for Dan Peters. 1-1, ripped up the middle, past the diving glove of Shaken at short. That'll score Robbins, and I guess I kind of alluded to his talent because he is now on with an RBI single. The Cats take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning.
And it's only fitting that he would collect the first RBI single of this game. He hit an RBI single in the top of the 11th that gave the Cats that 6-5 lead, and picking up right where he left off.
Evan Sandman, the second-year catch player from Dallas Baptist, digs in. First pitch from Appleby. Popped up towards shallow left field. McFarland runs over to it. Makes the catch for out number 3. Not before a run comes around on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Through 1 inning here from the Bible Institute of Los Angeles. Catch lead at 1-0. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Simulcast it onto YouTube. We'll be right back. Middle of the order here for the Oaks in top of the second inning. Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkind. Catch up 1-0. Graham Mayu digs in here in the number 4 spot. Looking to turn the Oaks day around already with a loss under their belt, finishing the 11th inning. And he takes the ball inside for 1-0. And he was actually the light in that bottom of the 11th inning. Came in as a pinch hitter in the bottom of the 11th inning with nobody away. Doubled. Advanced to third on a pass ball, but couldn't score the tying run. 1-0 upstairs for ball 2. Martin back on the mound. Trying to replicate his first inning where he had 2 strikeouts and drew a fly out to center field. Takes the sign from Fisher. Mayu waiting as he digs in, the Aztec. 2-0. Skied into left field, but that will go foul. 2-1 the count. Mayu didn't play last season at San Diego State. Broke his foot before in the offseason. With that being said, his conditioning has been phenomenal, and he has been one of the best Oaks players, both in the clutch and in the field. Martin sidesteps, toes the rubber, peers and fires the 2-1. Skied towards shallow second base. Johnson will tiptoe his way to it for out number 1. DJ Miller now stepping in the number 5 spot. He led off in yesterday's game. Ended up going 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, 2 groundouts, and a walk. He was out, though, on a 4-6-3 double play after the walk where he led off back in the first inning of yesterday's game. Speedy center fielder from Ole Miss looking to do some damage with 1 away. Oaks down 1-0. Martin deals, though, 0. Half-hearted swing. They're saying he went around for strike 1.
Yeah, Miller tried to hold back that swing, but especially from our vantage point, it was quite clear he wasn't able to hold it back.
Martin from the stretch deals, though, 1 over the heart of the plate, taken for strike number 2. Cody Santana waiting patiently on deck for his turn. Playing first base in today's game from Hawaii Pacific. Martin from Miami University in Ohio, excuse me. Kind of got tongue-tied with the Hawaii, though. 0-2, cut and a miss for strike 3. A nice breaking pitch had Miller way out in front, and just like that, there are 2 outs on the board for Cody Santana. Going back to Martin, excuse me, from Miami University in Ohio. Standing tall at 6'4", 190 pounds from Bryan, Ohio, just south of Akron, LeBron James' hometown. Do you know the University of the Akron mascot, Jonah? Or Akron University? I'll be really surprised if you do. They're D1. First pitch to Santana, cut back for strike 1.
Is this going to count as your trivia question?
No. I don't even think I have a trivia question today, but
Eagles?
No, they're the Zips.
It's close.
That I don't know, man. I could give it to you if I wanted, but I'm not. Not that it matters because it's not my trivia question. I was just curious. I know it's a pretty uncommon mascot. A little mascot mania here on KDTV. 0-1 into Santana, runs low, bounces in front of the plate, evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chase Cockrell on deck. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Catch. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. Oaks in a dogfight for that second place spot in the CCL. The winner outright of the second place spot in the CCL gets the automatic bid for the playoff, as the Foresters will forego their playoffs. 1-1 runs upstairs, 2-1 the count. And after that pitch, Fisher made a sign to Martin on the mound saying, ease it up a little bit. You seem a little jittery. And to me, Martin has been pitching phenomenally. 3 strikeouts in the first 5 batters he's faced. That pitch got away from him. He deals the 2-1. Cut back against the screen. Evens the count 2-2. And Biola, very interesting ballpark. It's almost like a bird aviary. For those of you who have been to aviaries before, you know that it's basically composed of netting. So when you're on the field here, there are nets about 200 feet up in the air, surrounding from just behind first base to behind third base, out from right to right center and from left to left center, with netting over center field over the street. 2-2, up and away for ball 3, and that's a full count now for Santana. So it's almost impossible for a fan to be able to retrieve a ball here. Very different to places like Ventura, where there's almost no netting. And fly balls just make their way into the stands for a treat for the fans. Here, though, unfortunately, for some young fans looking to get some free candy, that's not the case. Payoff pitch runs up, and a 2-out walk is drawn by Cody Santana.
Perhaps the home team trying to intimidate the other team, trying to eye their prey. In terms of a bird's eye view of the hawk coming down, attacking their prey.
I was going to say that you can't really make this pun because the Oaks represent trees and the Catch represent fish, because you could say that the Oaks are trying to reel in the Catch, but unfortunately, it's hard for a tree to really go fishing.
It's normally stationary, so that's a good that's
yeah, I
a
guess
good
if you hang
point.
a fishing pole from the branch, right? Chase Cockrell digs in, takes the first pitch over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Santana at first. Mayu led off the inning with a pop out to second. Miller struck out. Santana over at first by way of a walk. When picking up now, shifting towards home plate, but between left field and home. So a good pitching wind, if you will. Santana takes a step and a half lead off at first. Martin deals the 0-1. Slap towards short. Whitcomb gets it, fires it across the diamond to Garrett in time for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base by way of a walk through 1.5 here from Biola University. Oaks lead at 1-0. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Jonathan Dukoff leads things here for the Catch, up 1-0. Bottom of the second. First pitch taken from Appleby, called strike one. Dukoff from Houston Baptist by way of Baylor University steps back in. The 0-1 caught on a miss for strike two. Catch up 1-0 here. Bottom of the second. The Oaks left a runner on base back in the second inning with 2 away. Cody Santana walked. Looking at damage control now, losing. So the righty digs back in, playing right field in today's game. Played center field yesterday, went 1 for 5 with an RBI single. Couple of strikeouts too. 0-2, runs low and away for ball one. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Catch. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks, and another slow start for the Oaks offense. That has proven to be the reason that they have been struggling as of late. 1-2 runs in the dirt, 2-2 the count. Midge Buman on deck. Tyler Fisher in the hole. 2-2. Cut on and foul. Tipped back into the glove of Juan Gonzalez for strike number 3. One out on the board by way of an Appleby strikeout. And the Oaks looking to make this bottom of the second inning quick with Mitch Buman checking in. He was a pinch hitter in yesterday's game for Omar Ortiz. Went 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Plays third base. He's actually teammates with Oaks first baseman Cody Santana at Hawaii Pacific. One of 2 Hawaii Pacific Sharks on the roster. First pitch skied towards shallow infield. Running up to it is Gonzalez, as well as Mayu from third, and Mayu will make the catch for out number 2. The other Hawaii Pacific player on Dan Peters' squad is Tyler Hazlitt, who Oaks saw yesterday for an inning. So the Sharks well represented, now 2 away up on the board.
And I think what you're starting to see with Appleby now that he's more comfortable on the mound, we talked about him looking to pitch for contact, and right there, when he's going and playing aggressive at the batters, he gets himself a strikeout. Now pop up in the infield, just doing a nice job with his command of his pitches.
Tyler Fisher from Olivet Nazarene University steps in and swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. 2 quick outs here for Appleby, trying to make short order of the Catch here in the bottom of the second inning. And this is a big spot for the Oaks. They're trying to minimize the deficit because they need to get their offense rolling here. 0-1 runs low, 1-1 the count. And why is it important to start today? Because they have some very tough games coming up against the Blues tomorrow, the Foresters on Friday, and the Saints on Saturday, all on the road. And those games will be crucial down the line for the Oaks. 1-1 fouled back, 1-2 the count. So they need to start racking up the offensive, or the offense here on the road, because they have basically road games left. They still have 4 road games in their final 6 games of this season after today. And every single one of those games is going to be super, super important to try to edge out the Blues for that second spot in the Central and get in the playoffs. Appleby's 1-2, runs low and away, 2-2 the count.
And the irony about that, what you just said, Johnny, is the only team out of those 4 places to play that you mentioned that the Oaks have actually collected a win was against the Foresters, the best team in the CCL.
It's pretty ironic. 2-2, runs low for ball 3, and that kind of speaks to this Oaks team, how they kind of play to their opponent. They have struggled against teams below 500, but they have played so well against teams above 500. It's very interesting, actually, how this team has been operating. Appleby peers and fires the payoff pitch, slapped back against the screen, and we'll do it again. Feel free to tweet at us at Caneo_Oaks on Twitter. He's at Jonah_Malkin. I'm at Johnny Riff with 1F. Chat with us in the live chat box on the YouTube stream. Definitely appreciate any sort of comments, questions, concerns that our viewers may have. Fisher digs back in. Waves that bat over his right shoulder in a counterclockwise circle. Appleby toes the rubber, digs in and deals the payoff pitch once again up and in for ball 4. Second walk sufficed by Appleby on the day, and the Catch have a 2-out base runner over at first base.
And the Catch are almost replicating what the Oaks did in the second. A little change of pace. The Oaks popped one out in the infield, then a strikeout, then a walk, and the Catch strikeout, pop up, and a walk for themselves with 2 outs.
That'll bring up the number 9 batter in the lineup, Nate Picotta from William Jewell College. Came in yesterday as a pinch runner in the 9th inning. Ended up out on a pickle and then also a line out in his other at-bat. 0-0, bounces in front of the plate. Good backhand by Gonzalez to keep the runner at first at bay. 1-0 the count. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Catch. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. Bottom of the 2nd inning. Sun still beaming overhead, but a couple of clouds able to abrupt the rays just a little bit and make it a little bit cooler here. Not as hot as it was last time, though. 1-0 popped way up off of the netting, and we'll do it again with a 1-1 count up on the board. Birds chirping. It's actually a very nice area here in Biola. We're just south of Anaheim, right by Santa Fe Springs, California. 2-hour and 15-minute drive from Cal Lutheran. Very close to Disneyland, actually, believe it or not. So if you want to come down to the game here, you can go to the happiest place on earth right after. 1-1, skied high, and once again off the netting. 1-2 the count.
Now, the one thing I'll say is it isn't really 2 hours and 50 minutes. It shouldn't take that much time. However, with the addition of traffic at times, it certainly can prolong the drive.
It ended up being 2 hours. It's normally an hour. It should be an hour and 45 minutes without traffic.
Still a long time.
But you add the addition of a bus going 50, 55 miles an hour on a regular straight. 1-2, slapped up into left center, and that's going to drop. Cut off by Lewis. That'll keep that to just a single. Fisher over to second. Picotta gets a 2-out single. Runners on first and second out. Back to the top of the order for Grant Robbins. Going back to what we were saying, though, the bus goes pretty slowly when there's no traffic, but for the majority of the drive, there is traffic. It took the Oaks 2 hours and 15 minutes to go 33 miles today. That was quite a bus ride. Grant Robbins, 1 for 1 on the day with a double with a run scored thereafter stepping in. Appleview was able to retire the first 2 batters of the inning by way of strikeout and a pop-out, but walked Fisher. Picotta singled. And the Catch looking to extend the inning. The 0-0. Taking over the heart of the plate for strike 1.
Beautiful fastball from Appleby. Had that nice tail at the end of it.
Appleby, 0-1. Slap 2 short. Gets past Shakin's glove in the left field, and that'll load the bases up. 2 consecutive singles following a walk with 2 away. 4 hits on the day for the Catch, resulting in 1 run, but they're threatening now. Bases loaded for Toby Johnson, who drew a walk his first time up. He was out on a 1-6-3 double play, but an opportunity to make amends here.
And we've talked a lot about the Oaks' ability to generate hits and bring runners in scoring position with 2 away, and the Catch doing the same thing here.
Time called behind the plate. Appleby getting ready now. Picotta at second, Fisher at third, Robbins at first. The lefty from Arkansas State takes a couple of practice swings. Appleby deals the first pitch. Cracked towards first base. Foul for strike 1. Sleeves asking his outfield to shift just a little bit just in case. The lefty digs back in. Big spot for him. Base is all occupied. 1-0 our score. Cat's trying to blow this game open early. 0-1 runs low for ball 1. 1 ball and a strike. Once again, we'll apologize for the view here. It is a little bit different than anywhere else that the Oaks play just because of the setup here at Biola. Not much of a broadcaster-friendly ballpark. Even their broadcasters have to sit in the stands, so we're not the only ones being left out. 1-1. Slap to second. Weinstein gets it on the run, and he'll make the tag. No, he missed the tag. Picotta is able to, Robbins is able to evade the tag. That'll be an RBI infield single for Toby Johnson, and the Catch take a 2-0 lead Advancing to third on the play is Pacoda. Coming in and scoring was Fisher.
That'll bring up the shortstop. Number 3, Shea Whitcomb.
And that's just, I don't want to say that's a sluggish performance because I'm sure Weinstein is focused over there, but these are the types of plays the Oaks have to make if they want to make it into the postseason.
Base is still loaded for Shane Whitcomb. First pitch runs low for ball 1. Ground into 1-6-3 double play his first time up. Big spot here. Base is all loaded. 1 around in the inning. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Catch. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. Catch currently second to last place in the CCL, but they're not playing like it. 1-0. Foul tipped back against the glove of Gonzalez. That'll leave in the count 1 ball and a strike. Two away, and the Catch have done a really good job capitalizing. Appleby Pearson fires the 1-1. High hopper towards the Oaks dugout. He's ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dukoff led off the inning with a strikeout. Booman popped out. Fisher walked. Pacoda singled. Robbins singled. Johnson singled to score Fisher. Now Shea Whitcomb is up to try to continue this extension of the second inning. They have done a very good job, almost looking like the Oaks with 2 away. We'll load up the bases again. 1-2. Foul tipped back. A high fastball. That was a good pitch by Appleby. But an even better job by Whitcomb to fight it off.
And also, Whitcomb was very fortunate that Gonzalez wasn't able to fully corral it. A nice pitch. It was tapped back into his glove, but Gonzalez just unable to corral it.
Appleby taking his time on the rubber. Deals the 1-2. Cut towards third, but out of play. So for a third straight time, we'll do it at 1 ball and 2 strikes. One, two. High to right field, but Beam will be over to grab it for out number 3. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and bases left loaded. We're through 2 full. Catch leading at 2-0. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Top of the third inning, Juan Gonzalez leading things off in the number 8 spot for the Oaks. Down 2-0. Martin back on the mound, deals the first pitch over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Jonathan Rifkin, Jonah Malkin, Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Gonzalez came in as a pinch hitter for Castro in the bottom of the 11th inning. Ended up striking out. 0-1. Doug Fowl for strike number 2. Gonzalez was drafted in 2013 by the Cleveland Indians, deferred to play in college, headed to his final year at Oklahoma Baptist. Definitely the best defensive catcher in the CCL. Martin toes the rubber. Fisher gives him the sign. Pearson fires the 0-2. Way upstairs for ball 1. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the catch. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. They've been lucky. Already 4 runners left on base for SoCal in this game. Martin deals the 1-2. Gonzalez gets a handle on it. One hopper to Whitcomb at short, and he fires it across the diamond for out number 1.
Great hands shown from Whitcomb. Gonzalez lined one out right at him, but able to corral the one hopper to make the play.
Sam Shakin now in the number 9 spot, digging in. Talk about a guy who's been offensively successful for the Oaks as of late. But in yesterday's game, ended up going 1 for 3, 2 walks, a single, and 2 outs, a strikeout on a flyout. 0-0. Runs way upstairs past the glove of Fisher for ball 1. Lay of the land for you here for the catch with 1 away, up 2-0. Jonathan Dukoff in right, Nate Pacoda in center, Grant Robbins in left. Stephen Garrett over at first, Toby Johnson at second, Shea Whitcomb at short, Midge Boomin at third, Tyler Fisher behind the dish, 1-0. Cut on a miss, evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
On that pitch, Shakin swung late. That's why he ultimately was falling back on that swing.
Shakin went to Chatsworth High School. Led Valparaiso in batting average with a .325 mark. He's one of the best in the the Horizon League as well. 1-1 in the dirt. 2-1 now to Shakin. Martin takes his time and deals the 2-1. Third consecutive pitch missing for a ball. And now Shakin has worked himself into a favorable count. 3 balls and a strike, 1 away. Wind now shifting more towards left field. It was between third and home last inning. Sun begins to be overtaken by clouds now, as their shadows begin to fade on the field due to the cloud cover. But the temperature just does drop, and that's, I think, what we've been waiting for. Martin Pearson fires a 3-1, slapped up the middle into center field for a single, and the Oaks get their first base runner of the day by way of Sam Shakin's hit. 1 on, 1 away here, down 2-0 in the top of the 3rd inning.
And you talked about it, Johnny. It doesn't matter where you put him, whether the start, the top of the order, the middle of the order. In today's game's in the 9th spot, but such an efficient batter. Not flashy, not known for his offensive prowess, but he's been playing extremely well, especially on the offensive end as of late.
Milo Beam now 0 for 1 with a strikeout, looking to lead off the game for the Oaks, stepping in. Shout out to his mom, Nellie, his father, David. Bill be in town next week. 0-0. Slapped into left center field. Running over to it is Pacoda, but Robbins out of left will make the catch for out number 2. Shakin will retreat back to first base. 2 away now, and the Oaks in danger of once again leaving a runner on base, someone who got on base with less than 2 outs in an inning. They've really been struggling to advance runners. Weinstein 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out now. Pick-off attempt. Shakin's barely back. That was actually really close. Garrett was almost able to get a glove on his right foot. Weinstein sporting the purple Cal Lutheran Kingsman helmet. Led the team to a championship 2.5 months ago. Another pickoff attempt. Shakin back in easily. Shakin not much of a steal threat, though he is very fast. On hit and runs is where he's most effective on the base path. Weinstein digs back in. High stance. 0-0. Slap towards third, but foul for strike 1. Already 43 minutes into the game, top of the 3rd. 2-0 our score, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the catch. No runs, a hit, no errors for the Oaks. Martin nods, kicks and fires the 0-1. Runner goes, skied into right field towards the corner. That's going to stay fair. Shakin is going to round third and come home. Weinstein over at second. He's going to extend as the throw comes in late. And Max Weinstein is on with a RBI triple with 2 away to give the Oaks a runner up or a run up on the board, down 2-1 now. And like I alluded to, Sam Shakin, very effective in the hit and run. The Oaks put on the hit and run, and it was executed to perfection.
And Weinstein just providing that offensive spark that was needed for the Oaks. Doesn't matter where it comes, but in this case, once again, 2-out situation. Weinstein gets a nice hit that kind of slices into right field, has a nasty side spin to it that enables enough time for Shakin to advance all the way home and for Weinstein to get all the way over to third.
Brandon Lewis now stepping in. 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout, one of the 3 strikeout victims by the hand of Bailey Martin. He comes set and deals the 0-0, slapped foul for strike 1. Weinstein 90 feet away from scoring. He represents the tying run at third base with 2 away. The Oaks have done a very good job this season scoring runs in 2-out situations, but it's kind of unfortunate that they even have to be in a situation to score runs with 2 outs because they've just done such a poor job scoring in situations where there are less than 2 outs on the board. We need to find an official analytic on that. I'm very curious to see what the run differential is with 2 outs versus 1 or no outs. 0-1, sky high, but out of play for strike 2.
Well, based on the eye test, I think it would lend itself to believe that I would put my money on 2-out situations. But
it's
fortunately,
hard,
I'm not a
to
gambling
quantify
man.
Because the Oaks have had inflated innings. They had the 10-run inning
That's
against
true.
the Halos. They've had a 7-run inning against the Legends. They had a 6-run inning against the Northridge Bulls. So some of the innings for the Oaks have been inflated. It's kind of hard to quantify that stat, but it's very, very close, I'll tell you that. 0-2 for Martin. Runs outside for ball 1.
Well, perhaps you can look at it excluding those anomaly games.
Yeah, but still
But
not
nonetheless,
a
you have
correct
to
sample official player stats. It's a whole thing. This is like computer stuff. This is TI-84 calculator stuff. I'm not equipped for that. I've only taken university math. 1-2. Cut on a miss for strike 3. And the Oaks leave a runner at third base. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. 4 strikeouts in the game for Martin. 2.5 down here at Biola University. 2-1 our score, Catch leading. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Catch half of the third inning, which means it's the bottom. 2-1 our score. They're leading it. David Appleby back on the mound. Stephen Garrett digs in and takes the first pitch for strike 1 on the day for Garrett. 1 for 1 with an RBI single. Oaks were able to muster up a 2-out run in the top half of the third inning. They're losing 2-1. David Appleby deals the 0-1 sky deep into left field, going back to the track as it'll hit the wall. Rounding first and going to second is Garrett. He's actually going to hold as quickly Lewis got that ball in, and that'll be a very long single for Steven Garrett. He's now 2 for 2 on the day.
And that's such an interesting hit because any other player that would hit that ball would get a favorable bounce against the wall and no doubt be able to advance to second. But in that case, although he hit a line shot against the wall, it was quickly retrieved from Lewis and thrown into the infield to hold him at first.
Evan Sandman now stepping in 0 for 1 on the day. Fly out to left his first time up. With a runner on and nobody away, Appleby deals. Paints the outside corner for strike 1. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the catch. Appleby toes the rubber, takes the side from Gonzalez, and deals the 0-1. This one misses low for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Oaks kicking off a 4-game road trip. They'll make the long drive to San Luis Obispo tomorrow, the drive back down to Santa Barbara on Friday. And then over south to Pasadena on Saturday, 1-1 cut foul, 1-2 the count. This will be the longest road trip of the year. They have a game on Sunday back home against the Ventura County Pirates. That'll open up a 2-game homestand. They finish with the last home game of the season on Monday against the Foresters before taking a day off, and the last game of the season will be back up and slow on Wednesday. 1-2 popped up towards third. Mayu being called off by Shaken as he'll make the catch for out number 1. Shaken moving in from short behind third base, makes the catch. 1 away, runner on first base in the form of Steven Garrett. And Jonathan Dukoff from Houston Baptist by way of Baylor University will step in.
Jonathan Dukoff.
Sporting the number 7 on his back. Kingwood, Texas native, heading into his redshirt junior year. 6'2", 200 pounds, and a very fast outfielder. 0-0, runner goes, cut on a miss. The throw is not in time. And that was an incredible jump by Steven Garrett. I can guarantee you that's his first stolen base of the season because he is not the fastest guy on the base paths. He just got a phenomenal jump, completely eluded Appleby. Now a runner in scoring position with 1 away, but an 0-1 count up on the board.
And Gonzalez now 10 for 13, trying to catch runner stealing, although he got a late start to that. It was just a nice jump from Garrett.
0-1 count. Runs low for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Catch dugout quieter than most of the CCL teams. A lot of times in the CCL, dugouts tend to be very, very loud. Not abrupt per se. Sometimes they get warnings from the umpire, but the catch tend to be quieter. 1-1 runs in, 2-1 the count. Wind shifting once again towards home plate. Dukoff digging back in. Runner on second, 1 away. Appleby takes his time on the rubber from the stretch, deals the 2-1 for a strike at the belt. Last full week of Oaks baseball, unless they make the playoffs. Playoffs start July 28th from MLB Urban Youth Academy in Compton. Last game of the regular season, 6 o'clock in San Luis Obispo a week from today. 2-2 from Appleby. Cut on a miss for strike 3. Dukoff is down on strikeouts. The second time he struck out in the game, and the second strikeout for Appleby. So something about Jonathan Dukoff as Appleby on the mound. 2 strikeouts on the offensive side for Dukoff. Appleby with 2 strikeouts under his belt, and Mitch Booman in 0 for 1 on the day. Garrett waiting at second base. Still, he led off the inning with a single. Stole second. Sandman popped out. Dukoff struck out. But remember, in the last inning, 2 bases loaded situations and a run around as the first pitch comes in for strike 1 for the catch with 2 away. They're trying to emulate that inning right here with similar success. Huberman from Hawaii Pacific. Not too wide of a stance. Waves that bat over his right shoulder. 0-1. Skied into right field. Running in on is Beam. Running back on his wide seat. And Beam will make the diving catch for out number 3. Beam skying out of nowhere. Able to secure the ball and make sure that the Oaks Don't give up a run. No runs, a hit, no errors. One left on base. 4 through 3 full here from Biola University amongst the heads of the Oaks, as you see. Oaks still leading at 2-1 to the catch. We'll be back for the fourth after this. Top of the fourth inning, Grant Mayu leading off for the Oaks. They're down 2-1. Looking to change that here. My name is Jonathan Rifkin for play-by-play. My broadcasting partner, Jonah Malkin.
Thank you, Jonathan. Great job as always. Welcome back, everybody, to Biola University. Oaks trail 1-2. Grant Mayu steps in, takes the first pitch for strike one from Bailey Martin, entering his fourth inning of work. He's just given up 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts for the right-hander. Deals the 0-1, low for ball 1. Mayu on the day's 0 for 1 with a pop-up to second. And he came to pinch hit in the bottom of the 11th, led off with a stand-up double. 1-1 is sliced out of play for 1-2, and making the grab is Garrett for a nice catch and out number 1.
That was almost out of nowhere. Steven Garrett showing the explosiveness from first base and just tracking that ball down. A lot of first basemen you see give up on balls like that. Not Garrett. Way to get the first out of the inning.
So quickly 1 away for the Oaks. DJ Miller in the 5th spot of today's game, stepping in. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, 1 of 4 strikeouts for Martin. First pitch taken up and in for ball 1. Miller, the center fielder from Ole Miss. Always a base threat's been hitting extremely well recently. Takes the 1-0 for strike 1. Struggled this season with the Rebels. Just batted .167 with a .231 on base percentage, but had 2 home runs. As the 1-1 is lined into right field for a base hit. He's on over at first, and the Oaks have a runner on base. Just the 3rd hit of the day for the Oaks, but it couldn't have come at a more optimal time. And Cody Santana will step in now, the Hawaii Pacific Shark.
That's a much-needed base hit for Miller. Mostly because he went 0 for 5 yesterday and was only 1 hit in his last 3 games.
I'll bring in Cody Santana, waves that left bat over his shoulder, but he'll call for time. Santana didn't start in game 2 yesterday. Taps the first pitch back against the screen for 0-1. He did start, though, the first time these two teams played when they lost 5-4 on a walk-off home run from Omar Ortiz in the bottom of the 9th. In that game, he struggled mightily, was 0 for 5 with a couple flyouts, a strikeout, and a groundout. Looking to improve his batting average in today's game. Advanced over to first on a walk in the second inning. It's just the first walk on the day for Martin. Martin, pickoff attempt over to first comes late. Nearly picked off Shaken earlier in this game. And they actually picked off 2 runners yesterday in pickle situations. So nice. It was a nice elusive throwing from Zach Whitaker, the left-hander, yesterday. Miller's going to go 0-1, taken for a strike. The throw to second is not in time, and Miller has a stolen base.
And that's exactly why you want Miller on the base paths, because he can swipe bases with ease. Even after the pickoff, he still went. And he was safe, the fastest guy on the Oaks, one of the fastest in the CCL, and you see right there why that hit was just so important. He represents a tying run now, able to move from first to second by way of a stolen base with still 1 out.
And now the Oaks have a runner in scoring position over at second, the tying run. But Santana's down in the count 0-2 with 1 away. Martin takes the sign from Fisher. Step off, doesn't like that one. Chase Cockrell on deck. In the 7th spot in today's game. Played in the cleanup spot in yesterday's game. 0-2, just drops outside for 1 and 2. And Fisher's going to have a meeting with Martin. One and 2 the count, 1 away. Oaks trailing the catch 2-1. Weinstein delivered an RBI triple in the 3rd that brought Sam Shaken home for the first run of the game for the Oaks. But they still have work to do in the top of the 4th. Once again, struggling to generate hits, just 3 in this game. Meanwhile, the Catch have doubled that number with 6 of their own. Martin will check Miller at second. Fires the 1-2, that's slapped into shallow left field for a base hit. And the Oaks have runners on the corners with 1 away in the top of the 4th.
Nice hit there from Cody Santana, able to go opposite field, which is not something he does very often. Displaying that right there, the resilience to get a ball into short left field, get it down and advance Miller over to third. Now with 1 away, the Oaks with runners at the corners in a prime spot to at least tie this game up.
And now the second Ole Miss Rebel for the Oaks along with DJ Miller. Chase Cockrell will step in. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Looking for a base hit and an RBI to tie the game. First pitch is slapped, 1 hopper to short. The relay to first is going to get there in time for a nice 6-4-3 double play. So the Oaks can't plate any runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. The Catch still lead it 2-1 and going to look to build that lead heading into the bottom of the 4th when we come back. Bottom of the fourth we go here at Biola University. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jonah Malkin. Alongside me is Jonathan Rifkin. Catch leading the Oaks 2-1. Tyler Fisher to lead off in the 8th spot. Nate Pacoda at the bottom of the order on deck. And then Grant Robbins at the top of the order in the hole for the catch. Fisher, in his first time up, drew a walk as well as a run scored. And David Appleby still on the mound. First pitch is fouled out of play for 0-1. Appleby also entering his 4th inning. Hasn't had quite the same success as Martin. He's given up 6 hits. Just 2 runs with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Started his career at Utah where he redshirted, then transferred to Santa Barbara Community College. And looking to transfer once again and take his talents elsewhere. And we've seen with the type of velocity, he's certainly capable of doing so. It was the first pitch upstairs for ball 1. Fisher, the catcher from Olivet Nazarene University. He came in the field in the 11th inning as he slices the 0-1 out of play for 0-2. He took the place of Stephen Garrett at first when Garrett ultimately pitched the bottom of the 11th. And he started in the first meeting between these two teams, but he was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and 2 groundouts. 1-2. I should say 0-2 is taken outside for 1-2, for 2-2. Appleby takes the sign from Gonzalez, fires the low pitch in the ground for ball 3 to bring the count full. Second, 3-2 count pending for the catch. Just 1 for the Oaks. With nobody away, Appleby fires the payoff pitch low for ball 4. And Fisher now on over at first with his 2nd drawn walk of the day. 3rd walk issued from Appleby. And that'll bring in Nate Pacoda to step in. Pacoda's 1 for 1 with a single, left stranded over at 3rd in the 2nd. And the bottom of the order in today's game came to pinch hit for Evan Sandman. He came to pinch run and pinch hit. Was 0 for 1 with a line out to 3rd. But getting the start today. First pitch from Appleby runs inside for ball 1. Gonzalez quick to get up and hold Fisher over at first. Mayu gonna have a quick meeting with him. It's nice to see Grant Mayu back in the starting lineup today.
Yeah, and quickly, Solis motions for Simonsgard in the dugout to head to the bullpen. So we'll see how short the leash is on Appleby. This lead still only 2-1, but the catch threatening once again, and the Oaks want to make sure that they can damage control as much as possible and give the offense an opportunity to try to come back in this game.
Catch struck first as the 1-2 from Appleby. Grounded into foul territory for 1-1. They plated 1 run in the first, 1 run in the second to lead 2-0, and the Oaks were able to plate 1 in the 3rd to trim the deficit to 1. But they left runners at the corners, or I should say they just left Miller over at 3rd in the last inning. 1-1 from Appleby is grounded out of play, and we'll do it at bring the count at 1-2. Quiet day in La Mirada. Oaks making their 2nd trip down here. First game was played here. The 2nd game was started at Sparky Anderson and then was finished here. And now playing the 3rd and final game. 1-2 is popped into left center, and Lewis will make the catch for out number 1. One away now in the bottom of the fourth. Fisher still over at first, but back to the top of the order for the catch, Grant Robbins. He's had a phenomenal day, 2 for 2 with a single, a double, leadoff double in the bottom of the first, and a run scored, plated the first run for the catch. A left fielder out of UNLV. Was in the leadoff spot yesterday as well. 0-0 was slapped back into the face mask of Gonzalez for 0-1. Gonzalez able to shake that off. But we know that must have hurt, and we saw that that happen a number of times when the Oaks played against the Arroyo Seco Saints. About 7 balls ended up slapping back against the face masks of the catchers. Now that's why it's there, but nonetheless doesn't entirely reduce the pain. 0-1, grounded to Shaken. He makes the throw to Weinstein at second in time for out number 2. Beautiful 6-4 putout sends Fisher home. Robbins will advance over to first on the fielder's choice. Two away now for the catch. And Toby Johnson will step in, the second baseman from Arkansas State University. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI single in the second and drew a walk as well in the first. Appleby's first pitch runs low in front of Gonzalez for ball 1, but the pickoff attempt, the back pick attempt to first comes late. Gonzalez nearly caught Robbins lackadaisical over at first.
Oh, that was close, Jonah. Looking back at the replay, they don't have that on the field, but we have it here. And boy, I think the ball got there before. I'm not sure if Santana may have laid that tag before Robbins got back to first base, but it was very close.
1-0, swung on and missed for 1-1. We talked about it. Gonzalez has caught 10 runners stealing. Looking for a back pick attempt. Perhaps that can kind of rejuvenate the Oaks in a much needed win. 1-1. The back pick attempt to first. That time is not going to get there. Again, a close call.
That's a bad call, Jonah. That the first one may not, but that is a bad call. You can see on your screen that by a mile that ball got there.
Well, and from our vantage point right in front of first, it certainly looked like Gonzalez was able to get the throw to Santana in time.
Yeah, and head coach Solis turned a little bit around, was going to rush out, but said, you know what, it's not worth it. Again, it's hard as a first base umpire with situations like that.
Runner's going to go, 2-1's low. Gonzalez's throw to second is in time for out number 3, so that time he does get him. And what a throw from Gonzalez to end the bottom of the fourth. The catch can't plate any runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. But they lead at 2-1. Oaks looking to change that in the top of the fifth when we Top of the fifth here at Biola University, and who else to lead off but Juan Gonzalez, who made that incredible throw over to second to catch Robin stealing. He's now caught 11 out of 14 batters stealing for the incredible catcher from Oklahoma Baptist. Marin's first pitch is swung on and missed for strike one. Gonzalez is 0 for 1 with a ground out to short, but tried to redeem himself 3 times, John. He did get it. CL to take their place. So right now the Oaks in a 2-man race against the Blues. First pitch to Shaken runs low for ball 1. Shaken's been a bright spot in today's game. He's 1 for 1 and came around to score the only run for the Oaks in the 3rd inning. The shortstop from Valparaiso. 1-0 from Marin, runs up and in for ball 2. Shaken playing shortstop in today's game. Extremely reliable infielder for Coach David Solis. Was elected to the Horizon League all-freshman team at Valparaiso. 2-1 taken inside for strike 1. Perhaps a little fortuitous there as that 2-0 pitch dropped inside for 2-1. Now the count's 2-1. Shaken digs in. The 2-1 from Martin just misses outside for 3-1. For the Oaks, this begins the first of a 4-game road stretch. They'll play the Blues tomorrow in San Luis Obispo. As the 3-1 from Martin just misses low for ball 4. Shaken will be walked over to first. The second walk on the day for Martin. Then on Friday, they'll play the Santa Barbara Foresters at Pershing Park, and they'll conclude their road trip on Saturday against the Arroyo Seco Saints in Pasadena. And later that night, Mike Sosha, the owner of the team and manager for the Angels, will bring them as guests to watch the Angels play that night. Angel Stadium. Beam shows bunt, pulls back for the low ball for ball 1. And then to conclude the rest of the week, they'll play the Ventura County Pirates on Sunday. And they'll play once again the Santa Barbara Foresters on Monday, a game that was originally called for Tuesday but got pushed back earlier to Monday. Shaken over at first. 1 out. Marin's pickoff attempt over to first comes late. Beam in the top of the order. 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a fly out to left. Looking for his first hit of the game. Marin takes the sign from Fisher, comes set, deals the 0-1. Beam pops that into center. Pacoda makes the catch for out number 2. So a fly out to right. Shaken drew a walk. And Beam's fly out to center puts 2 away for the Oaks in the top of the 5th. And Max Weinstein to step back in, coming off an RBI triple in the 3rd. Almost identical spot, except in the 3rd inning there was just 1 out at the time. Or no, there actually was 2 outs, so identical spot once again. Shaken was over at first. So Weinstein trying to emulate that success from the 3rd inning and tie this game up. Martin will check the runner at first. First pitch is fouled back against the screen for strike 1. Weinstein, one of the most efficient and productive hitters for the Oaks in the entire CCL. Has been in the top 5 batting averages throughout the majority of the season. 0-1 to him is swung on and missed for strike 2. And he's been phenomenal, batting over 400 throughout the entire season. Garnered him All-Star recognition. One of 5 Oaks batters to make the All-Star team. Martin's pickoff attempt to first comes late. Weinstein along with Juan Gonzalez, Robbie Medell, Evan McMillan, and DJ Miller were the 5 All-Stars for the Oaks. Played at MLB Urban Youth Academy in Compton, California. The 0-2 from Martin is swung on and missed for strike 3. Down goes Weinstein. Martin has his 5th strikeout on the day, and the Oaks can't play any runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Catch lead it 2-1 heading into the bottom of the 5th. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV, simulcast onto YouTube. We'll be right back. Bottom of the 5th we go at Biola University. Jonah Malkin on the call. Alongside me is Jonathan Rifkin. Catch lead it 2-1 heading into the bottom of the 5th. And Toby Johnson will step in. Craven, the new pitcher on the mound, delivers a strike. Taking the place of David Appleby, who got the start today. Went 4 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, both of which were earned, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Craven's second pitch grounded out of play for 0-2. The southpaw came in briefly in yesterday's game, went 1 inning, just gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout for the southpaw. Plays at Whitman College, along with fellow teammate Eric Maw. Toby Johnson stepping back in. 0-2 from Craven, runs low for ball 1. Johnson did step in the 4th inning, but Gonzalez threw out Robin stealing at second. That's sending him back to start and lead off in the top of the 5th. 1-2 from Craven, runs low for 2-2. Johnson at Arkansas State appeared in 30 games for the Red Wolves, got 19 starts, batted 186 with a .288 on-base percentage. 2-2 from Craven, grounded to Weinstein at second, the toss to Santana for out number 1. 4-3 put out, and Shea Whitcomb will step in, who's 0 for 2.
The Oaks settling in now. A good relief appearance here for Craven, somebody that's been more reliable for them out of the bullpen this season, trying to shut down the catch here and give the offense an opportunity to work. The Oaks are getting runners on base on offense, but they haven't been able to get them around. They have to be careful because Catch have already left 5 on base as well.
First pitch taken for strike 1. In this game, the Oaks have left 4 on base as opposed to 5 for the Catch. Craven fires the 0-1, fouled up about 100 feet up for 0-2. And you talked about it, Johnny, this aviary, bird's nest, or cage, whatever you want to call it, here at La Mirada. And actually, the last time the Oaks were here, Mayu was able to foul one back all the way over the net as the 0-2 runs low for ball one, and that was actually quite an impressive sight.
Yeah, that was one of the more impressive things that we've seen this season, just because of how high these nets are behind home plate. It's very hard to get a ball out of this ballpark, even if you hit a home run.
1-2 from Craven, runs low for 2-2. Identical spot for Whitcomb. Craven started out ahead in the count 0-2 to Johnson. Johnson worked his way back for 2-2, and same thing with Whitcomb. Craven's 2-2, slow roller out of play, and we'll do it again. Whitcomb, the shortstop from UCSD. Yesterday went 2 for 5 with a walk and a run scored. Craven's 2-2 drops low to bring the count full at 3-2.
That was a good pitch, just a late tail that caused that fastball to drop below the strike zone and look good all the way into the glove, but because of where it crossed the plate, it was deemed a low. Again, not a bad pitch, actually a very good pitch, but I could go either way, today, just no call.
Payoff pitch is popped into right field. Beam takes a couple steps back and makes the catch for out number 2. A ground out and a fly out to right puts 2 away now for the catch in the bottom of the 5th. And Stephen Garrett in the cleanup spot. It was an impressive 2 for 2 trying to extend the inning. Had an RBI single in the 1st. Also a stolen base in the 3rd.
The first baseman, number 20, Stephen Garrett.
Pitched that bottom of the 11th and got the save for the catch. Earlier today, Craven's first pitch drops, catches the bottom of the strike zone for strike 1. Garrett, a multifaceted player, one of the best pitchers on the team as well, one of the best batting averages. Pops the 0-1 back against the screen for 0-2. He's 3rd best on the team with a .309 batting average. Has a record of 8-1 on the season with 2 saves. Craven comes set on the mound, fires the 0-2, sliced into right field. Meme will run forward, make the catch for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down for the catch to end the bottom of the 5th, but they lead it 2-1. Oaks trying to plate some more runs in the top of the 6th. Top of the sixth we go here at Biola University. Oaks trail the catch 2-1 with Brandon Lewis to lead off in the third spot. Grant Mayu on deck and DJ Miller in the hole. New pitcher on the mound is Hunter McIntosh. We'll give you stats on Martin after this first pitch. Taken low for ball one. Bailey Martin's day is done, went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. But Hunter McIntosh, the southpaw from Bowdoin, Iowa, deals the 1-0. That misses for ball 2. Plays his college ball at Grandview University in Des Moines, Iowa. Got a nice frame, 6'3", 205. Utilizing it here, the 2-0 was swung on and missed for strike 1. Meanwhile, Lewis on the day struggled, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Looking for the 5th hit for the Oaks and his first. 2-1, drops on the inside corner for 2-2. Oaks, 1 run on 4 hits and no errors. The catch, 2 runs, 6 hits, and 0 errors. So an entirely different ball game to yesterday as Martin's 2-2 is fouled up, but can't get over the net for 2-2. In yesterday's game, catch had 6 runs and 5 hits. Or I should say, 6 runs, 12 hits, and 6 errors. From both teams, a combined 8 errors through the entire game. Not a single one so far through 5. Not to mention a combined 19 hits as opposed to just 10 today. 2-2 for McIntosh. Lewis skies that into left field. And Robbins will make the catch for out number 1. 1 out now with Grant Mayu, who's 0 for 2 to step in. A couple pop-ups to short and first. The third baseman from San Diego State, the Aztec, wearing his Aztec helmet. Give you the infield for the catch in just a moment. McIntosh delivers the first pitch. Mayu pops that, and it will get over the net for strike 1. Now, the reason we're so excited about that pitch is because the last time we came here, Mayu was able to do that before, and we have yet to see another player from either team foul one over the 200-foot netting. So that is extremely impressive as McIntosh's 0-1 is popped into the infield. Garrett making the catch for out number 2. So for the infield, for the catch, Mitch Booman at third, Shea Whitcomb at short, Toby Johnson at second, Stephen Garrett at first, Tyler Fisher behind the dish, Grant Robbins for the outfield in left field, Nate Pecota in center field, and Jonathan Dukoff in right. And the left-hander Hunter McIntosh on the mound with DJ Miller to step in. First pitch taken for strike 1. Miller's 1 for 2 with a strikeout, a single, and a stolen base for the Ole Miss Rebel. But the Oaks quickly 2 away in the top of the 6th. McIntosh's 0-1 is fouled back against the screen for 0-2. Miller was in the leadoff spot yesterday. Was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, a couple groundouts, and a walk. Starting off in a much better start today. 0-2 lays off the low pitch for ball 1. He was also just 1 for 4 in the first meeting between the two teams. The triple and a run scored. But Martin looking to get out of the top of the 6th. Deals the 1-2, fouled back, and Miller will stay alive. Remember to follow us at Canale_Oaks. I'm at Jonah_Malkin. He's at Johnny Riff with 1F. You can watch the games on oaksbaseball.org, simulcast onto YouTube, and feel free to interact with us in the live chat. McIntosh comes set, deals the 1-0, grounded to third. Booman's throw to first is in time for out number 3. Identical start of the 6th to the end of the 5th for the Catch. The Oaks can't play at any runs. No hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. They trail the Catch 2-1 heading into the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th here at Biola University. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jonah Malkin. Alongside me is my broadcasting partner, Jonathan Rifkin. Evan Sandman in the 5th spot to lead off. Jonathan Dukoff on deck behind him. And Mitch Booman in the hole for the Catch. They lead it 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Sandman, who's 0 for 2, looking for his first hit of the day. Craven still on the mound, deals a pitch that catches the bottom part of the strike zone for strike 1, entering his 2nd inning of work. Sandman, who's 0 for 2, a fly out to left and a pop up to short. Takes the 0-1 for strike 2. Playing the DH spot for the 2nd time. Played DH yesterday. The Dallas Baptist product. Waves that bat over his left shoulder. Craven deals the 0-2. Slapped into center field. Miller makes the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, 2 good low fastballs and then a fastball right at the belt, but Sandman wasn't able to adjust after seeing those 2 low fastballs. A good sequence there from Craven, able to get out number 1.
Jonathan Dukoff will step in, the right fielder from Houston Baptist. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, or has been struck out twice. Used to play at Baylor before transferring. Craven's first pitch runs upstairs for ball 1. Entering his junior year. Struggle, just 1 for 5 yesterday as well. Craven's 1-0, taken low for strike 1. Craven's done a nice job keeping a number of his fastballs in the lower part of the strike zone, forcing opposing batters to have to hit up as opposed to getting contact with the ball in the sweet spot. 1-1 is tapped back against the screen for 1-2. Sun continuing to shine more brightly on the field. No wind so far. 1-2 is hit into left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. And Dukoff hits a 1-out single to get things started in the bottom of the 6th for the Catch.
Nice hit there on the inside part of the plate, able to slap it just to the right of the foul line down third base for a single. The Catch are doing a very good job in the last 2 games, seeing the field well. They're not hitting for power, but they're finding spots in no man's land to drop that ball and get on base, and that's why they're being so successful in making contact with these pitches.
That'll bring in Mitch Booman, the Y Pacific Shark, teammates with Cody Santana. First pitch to hit in, and it's taken for strike one. 0 for 2 with a pop-up and a flyout. With Dukoff over at first. Craven checks him at first, deals the 0-1. Slow curveball, tapped back for 0-2. And Craven's done a nice job in nearly every batter he's faced of putting himself ahead in the count 0-2 and setting up a beautiful and more optimal position for him on the mound. Deals the 0-2, grounded to Shaken at second. One out, the relay to first in time for a 6-4-3 double play. That'll do it for the bottom of the sixth. The Catch can't play at any runs on one hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Oaks looking to turn the tide heading into the top of the seventh when we come back. Top of the seventh here at Biola University. Oaks trailing the Catch 2-1. With Cody Santana to lead off, I'm Jonah Malkin, and for the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, my broadcasting partner, Jonathan Rifkin.
Thanks, Jonah. Fine job as always. Santana steps in, 1 for 1 on the day. Swings and misses at that one for strike one. Hunter McIntosh back on the mound from Grandview University in Des Moines, Iowa. I have a story about Grandview, the Kings, here in just a moment. Actually, a tradition that the Kings have that is unlike any other tradition in the country. And I guarantee you'll have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's quite an interesting story. The 0-1 from McIntosh runs low, 1-1 the count. Santana walked back in the second, singled in the fourth. Cocker waiting behind him, Gonzalez in the hole. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Catch. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the Oaks. Santana digs back in the left-handed batter's box. Lefty on lefty matchup with a matchup that he tends to struggle on. Foul is off the 1-1 off his foot, though he shakes it off. 1-2 the count. Second year with the Oaks. His Hawaii Pacific teammate, Mitchell Booman, over at third base. He didn't have the opportunity to face Tyler Haslett yesterday, but he did have an opportunity to face Tyler Haslett yesterday in that inning that he pitched. Another Hawaii Pacific Shark on Coach Peters' squad. Santana digs back in, takes a couple of taps on the plate. Waves that bat over his left shoulder. McIntosh takes a sign from Fisher. Toes the rubber, kicks and fires the 1-2. Sliced in the left field. Running back on it is Robbins, and that wall will be fair against the wall. Rounding first and going to second is Santana. The throw will come in, and Cody Santana leads things off here in the top of the 7th inning with a stand-up double for the Oaks. They have the tying run in scoring position.
Great slap into left field from Santana. He's had a fantastic day now, 2 for 2 with a walk. He's just looking to put the team on his back.
And you could tell he's working on that opposite field success, because that's the second time today that he's gotten a base hit going into left field. And as a lefty, that's a very good asset to have. By the way, for those keeping track of the CCL Central standings, the Foresters and the Blues are about to kick off at 6 o'clock. We'll keep you updated on that game. Cockle digs in. 0-0, taken low for ball 1. The Oaks and the Blues tied in the CCL Central for second place. So remember, the second place winner of the Central will take the place of the Foresters in the playoffs when the Foresters forego the CCL playoffs to play at Wichita. So a dogfight until the finish. The Oaks still play the Blues twice. They still have the Foresters twice as well. Cockrell 0 for 2 on the day, by the way. McIntosh checks the runner at second, deals the 1-0 in the dirt, ball 2. So McIntosh attends Grandview University in Des Moines, Iowa. Grandview University has a very interesting tradition. In the 1930s, there was a statue of an eagle outside a gas station, the White Eagle gas station in Des Moines, Iowa. And a fraternity thought that it would be fun to steal the eagle. So the fraternity in the 1930s stole the eagle from the gas station. 2-0 comes in. Skied high and deep to left field. Running back on it is Robbins, but you could kiss it goodbye. A 2-run home run from Chase Cockrell has to stop my story, but it's worth it. The Oaks now up 3-2 here in the top of the 7th inning.
Wow. Absolute shot deep into left field. No chance that anyone back there was going to make a play, and the Oaks take the lead in a desperate and much-needed game.
Cockrell with his 3rd home run of the season. That one was a no-doubter off the bat. The entire bench here greeting him. Dan Peters comes out to have a conversation, as actually McIntosh's day will be done. So I'll finish my story about Grandview University and Bud the Eagle in just a moment when we come back. New pitcher coming in. Oaks up 3-2. Bases cleared, nobody away here in the top of the 7th inning. Tucker Thomason takes the mound here for the catch. Hunter McIntosh's day is done. 1 inning pitch, 2 hits, 2 runs. No walks, no strikeouts. Oaks up 3-2 here in the top of the 7th inning. Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkin. Thomason from Fresno City College. His brother Talon pitched yesterday in 1 inning, or 2 innings for Talon. Pitched in the 6th and 7th. Gave up 2 hits, 1 strikeout, no walks, no runs. So going back to the story that I was saying from Grandview, I was talking about Bud the Bird that the fraternity decided to steal in the 1930s. Well, since the 1930s, that bird has been a object of desire for the majority of people at Grandview. So over the years, it has traded hands. It's being stolen from various organizations. So from that fraternity, it was stolen by a sorority. Then a couple of freshmen stole it from the sorority. And to this day, that bird is still being traded hands at Grandview. And it is one of the most unique traditions in all of college. So that kind of caps off my story as McIntosh exits. So it's not as relevant anymore, but I thought it was kind of a cool tidbit about the Grandview Kings. 2 round in the inning. Gonzalez stepping in now 0 for 2. Santana led off with a double. Cockrell homered both him and Cockrell around. 3-2 the score. Oaks up now finally for just the first time in the last 2 days against this team, though. Oh, fired in, runs low and away for ball 1. Tucker Thomason on the mound, Las Vegas, Nevada native, headed into his junior year. Standing at 5'9", 165 pounds. 1 inch, 5 pounds less than his brother. 1-0, runs low for 2-0. Sam Shaken waiting on deck, 1 for 1 on the day with a single, a run scored, and a walk. Grant Mayu pumping him up a little bit for his at-bat. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Catch. Thomason deals the 2-0. Gonzalez waits on it, but taken for strike 1 at the knees. And for Gonzalez at Oklahoma Baptist this past year, he batted .352 for home runs, 54 RBIs. Was absolutely incredible for the Rams, 2-1. Low, 3-1. They're actually the Bison, my mistake, not the Rams. But regardless, he has just been a force. And he has been struggling a little bit with the Oaks as of late, but picked up his play a little bit here towards the end of the season. They need him. Thomason deals the 3-1. Low for ball 4, and the Oaks draw a 5-out walk with nobody, or excuse me, a 5-pitch walk with nobody on base. Gonzalez takes first base, and they have another base runner on the 3rd of the inning. 2 around in the inning. And Sam Shaken, 1 for 1, as I mentioned earlier, with a run scored and a walk, digs in. Following a good day yesterday for him, where he reached base 3 times, 1 for 3, a walk, a hit by a pitch, a single, a strikeout, and a flyout. He is hitting consistently for the Oaks, and the El Paso Crusaders are very happy to have him on their squad during the college season, though. Oh, slice back up to the mound, knocked down by Thomason. Gonzalez reaches second, but he'll throw out Shaken at first on the fielder's choice. So Shaken basically does his job. It almost acts like a sacrifice, though it wasn't. Gonzalez advances to second, no double play. Fielder's choice, or actually it wasn't even fielder's choice, it was just a 1-3 putout. But a runner in scoring position once again for the Oaks with 1 away.
And this, if they could find a way to bring Gonzalez home, that would be a much-needed insurance run. Give them a little more leeway. Not that they should get out of being locked in, but it could serve as a much important run later.
Milo Beam takes the first pitch. Gonzalez steals third. The throw was low for ball 1. Fisher's throw was not in time, and Gonzalez able to swipe third base. His first stolen base of the season, and it's a good one. With 1 away, the Oaks have a runner 90 feet away from home plate. Max Weinstein waiting on deck. Milo Beam back at the top of the order, 0 for 3. A strikeout on 2 flyouts digging in. 1-0 the count. Thomason comes set and deals. Shows bunt, gets it down. It's a slow roller towards third. Gonzalez has looked back towards third, but Beam beats out the throw for an infield single and another bunt single. The second consecutive day that Beam has done that, and he has been phenomenal on this season on infield bunts.
And a heads-up play from Gonzalez, able to kind of distract Fisher from home plate, cause him to hesitate a bit before he made the throw to first, and with Beam's speed, all he needs is 3 full seconds to sprint over to first, and now runners at the corners with 1 out in the big bat of Max Weinstein.
And this is going to be interesting if they send Beam. He takes a hardy lead off of first because with a runner at third, do you risk the throw to second? Maybe Fisher will hesitate. He'll make a mistake. The Oaks can get a run out of it. Max Weinstein stepping in. 1 for 3 on the day. Runner goes. Pitch is called ball. No throw, though. And that's exactly what I alluded to. There was no reason for Fisher to want to make that throw just in case it went awry. And the Oaks now have 2 runners in scoring position with 1 away, and Max Weinstein up, triple RBI. Back in the third, a strikeout and a flyout under his belt. Opportunity to capitalize, though, and put the Oaks up more. Up 3-2 right now in the top of the 7th inning. Weinstein, the 6th batter of the 7th inning. Thomason checks the runner at second. Kicks and fires the 1-0. Skied over to right field. In foul territory. Running back on it are a slew of players, but it's going to hit the netting. Garrett wanted to get under it, but the last little bit of tail on that ball allowed it to hit the netting. 1-1 the count.
Weinstein very fortunate that that ball didn't drop into an area in which Garrett could make a play, because it's much easier to bring in a runner from second or third with 1 out. You could hit a sac fly, but with 2 outs, that totally disregards that situation.
Weinstein digs back in. Purple Cal Lutheran helmet on his head. 1-1. Slapped high and deep to left field. That's going to hit the wall. Coming around and scoring is Gonzalez. Beam is behind him. Legging out the 2 RBI double is Weinstein. And he has plated 3 total runs in this game. The Oaks are up 5-2 now in the top of the 7th inning. What a shot there from Weinstein. He has a triple, a double, and 3 RBIs now on the game. The Oaks, and you talk about extending the lead, Jonah, getting a comfortable margin, are up 3. A big deal for them.
A huge hit for Weinstein. You talked about it, contributed to 3 RBIs for this team. And look, the Oaks are playing with a sense of urgency and playing desperate, and that's really what they need, especially coming down the stretch of these games.
Brandon Lewis digs in 0 for 3, a pair of strikeouts and a flyout under his belt. Runner in scoring position once again for the Oaks. 4 runs around in the inning. The first pitch runs low and away for ball 1. Santana led off the inning with a double. Cockrell homered him in. Put 2 up on the board in the inning. Gonzalez came in and walked. Shaken grounded out, but advanced Gonzalez, to second base. Beam then bunted. Gonzalez over at third from the stolen base. Runners in scoring position. Weinstein scored 2 with a double. 1-0. Popped up towards center field. Picota blocks the sun. Runs up on the ball and makes the catch for out number 2. Sun beaming a little bit more now. The cloud cover not as thick as it was earlier in the game. Wind dying down just a bit. 2 away now. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the catching Grant Mayu. The number 8 batter in the inning steps in. 0 for 3 on the day with 3 pop-outs. 1 in foul territory, 1 to second, and 1 to first. So at least he's being consistent, but maybe not in the way that he wants. 0-0, runs low for ball 1. Mayu trying to turn his day around. Prime position here, the Oaks, though, looking for the win. Like I alluded to, the Foresters and the Blues set to start right now at 6 o'clock local time. 1-0, chopped foul towards third, 1-1 the count. And that's a big game, because if the Blues lose and the Oaks win today, the Oaks will once again solidify their spot in second place in the CCL Central. And with the Foresters forgoing the CCL playoffs to go to Wichita, the Oaks could make the playoffs if they finish second. But the Blues and the Oaks currently tied for second place. So the Oaks are hoping for a win today and a Blues loss. Thomason deals the 1-1 upstairs for ball 2. Weinstein not with blinding speed over at second base, but he is a very smart base runner. And he can distract a pitcher with his leads. Very good jump if he needs to. Takes a 2.5-step lead off of second base. Thomason shakes off the first pitch from Fisher. First sign from Fisher, I should say. Checks Weinstein, comes set on the stretch. Deals the 2-1. A grounder towards short. Whitcomb gets it, fires it across the diamond. The extent by Garrett, but he's able to keep his foot on the bag in time for out number 3. The Oaks played 8 batters, score 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors. They leave 1 on base. We're through 6.5 here, which means the bottom of the 7th is upon us, and the 7th inning stretch is happening. Enjoy a cold beverage and grab something you can consume that you enjoy. Release the endorphins, maybe some chocolate on a day like today. And enjoy Oaks baseball at 5-2 here. 7th inning stretch when we come back.
Tyler Fisher.
8-9-1 hitters due here in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Catch. Tyler Fisher drawn 2 walks and a run scored on the day. Stepping in, new pitcher on the mound, Angus Denton from the University of Arkansas. Travis Craven's day is done as the first pitch skied in there for ball 1. Craven went 2 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Did a very good job retiring all but 1. Actually gave up a hit, my mistake, but that pitch cut back for strike 1. He did a very good job, retired all but 1, but then after the hit by Dukoff, caused Buman to ground into a double play, so he did his job well. Oaks up 5-2 here in the bottom of the 7th after putting up 4 in the top half. 1-1 from Denton. Cut on a miss for strike number 2. Denton, one of the more efficient sidearmers for the Oaks from the University of Arkansas. Is 0 for 1 on the season, however. Gave up a walk-off last Tuesday to the Long Beach legend in Long Beach. Sets and fires the 1-2. Low for ball 2. 2-2 the count. We're going to update you on that Santa Barbara-San Luis Obispo game as it just kicked off. Obviously no score early. Santa Barbara and the Blues duking it out. 2-2 on the outside corner, called strike 3. Fisher sent down on strikes, the first of the day for Denton. 3rd overall for the Oaks. Not a strikeout type of day for them. But nonetheless, they're winning, and that's all that matters. Nate Pacoda steps in, now 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a flyout.
And Denton's such a tough matchup for opposing batters because he has such an unorthodox type of throw. Kind of throws their timing off.
First pitch runs at the knees for strike 1. Denton does a very good job slinging in that pitch with that sidearm action. Kind of submarine-ish, but not fully. Makes it very hard for hitters to get a handle on his ball. 0-1 runs upstairs, 1-1 the count. Pacoda currently in. Grant Robbins waiting on deck if we get that far. Toby Johnson in the hole. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Catch. 1-1. Paints the bottom of the strike zone. 1-2 the count. Denton now looking to do some damage control. Deals the 1-2 outside for ball number 2, and that'll even the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Oaks need the Blues to lose today, and them to win, the Oaks to win, that is, to be a game up in the CCL Central. 2-2, Cut back to the mound on the hop. Denton gets it and will lightly toss it over Santana for out number 1. Or, excuse me, out number 2.
That's just a great throw from Denton because he keeps that ball low and forces Pacoda to have to reach out to make contact with him. By the time he does reach out and makes contact with it, it's just a slow roller right to the mound. Denton was ready for it, able to corral it and toss it to Santana quickly for a second out.
Grant Robbins back at the top of the order steps in. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. 2 for 3 on the day with a double, a single, a run scored. Reached in the 4th on a fielder's choice, but was caught stealing thereafter. UNLV run Rebel takes a pitch in the dirt for 2-0. Wind picking up now towards left once again. 5 to 6 miles an hour steady, 8 to 10 miles an hour gusts. The Oaks will be in San Luis Obispo tomorrow to take on the Blues in game number 2 of the 4-game road trip. 2-0 over the heart of the plate for strike 1. On Friday, they will be in Santa Barbara to take on the Forcers, and Saturday, Pasadena 2-1 paints the outside corner, evens the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lay of the land for you here for the Oaks. Out in right, Milo Beam, DJ Miller in center, Lewis in left. Infield here in just a moment, 2-2. Wave towards third, but foul. We'll do it again. Cody Santana at first. Max Weinstein occupies second. Sam Shaken over at short. Grant Mayo at third behind the dish. Juan Gonzalez and Angus Denton, the third pitcher for the Oaks on the day, towing the rubber. 2 away, 2-2 count. Oaks at 5-2 here, bottom of the 7th. Denton deals. Cutter and missed for strike 3. 2 strikeouts and a ground out under Denton's belt in the bottom of the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and 2 strikeouts for Denton. To the top of the 8th we go. Oaks lead at 5-2. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. DJ Miller lead things off here for the Oaks in the top of the 8th. Welcome back, everybody. First pitch from the new pitcher, Connor Davis, runs inside for ball 1. Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkin on the call with you. Oaks up 5-2. Give you Connor Davis's information here in just a moment. 1-0, runs upstairs, 2-0. Comes in for Tucker Thomas, in an inning pitch. He gave up a walk, no strikeouts. And no runs as they were all accredited to McIntosh. Miller skies the first pitch, or excuse me, the 2-0 into center field at the wall. Pacoda catches it for out number 1. Before that, Miller on the day. 1 for 3 with a single, a stolen base, a strikeout, and a groundout. Now has a flyout under his belt. And Connor Davis from Creighton University in Lincoln, Nebraska, looking to damage control now. Oaks up 5-2 after a big 4-run 7th inning. By the way, the Foresters are up on the Blues 1-0 right now in the bottom of the first inning. The Blues at bat. That's big. The Oaks need the Blues to lose and to win out this game to take sole possession of second place. Santana swings the first pitch foul for strike number 1. Santana has been the most productive Oaks batter of the day. 2 for 2, a double, excuse me. A run scored, a single, and a walk. He's been on base all 3 times he's been up. And he will try to continue his stellar day from the left-handed batter's box. 0-1 runs away, 1-1 the count. And we're kind of sad to see his father Al and his mother Leanne not here, but actually, excuse me, Lynette. I did it again. 1-1, grounded to short. Wickham gets it on the second hop and fires it over to first, a step ahead of Santana for out number 2. Regardless, his parents are not here, and always the smiling faces in the crowd, something that we're missing, and Oaks are trying to will on a victory nonetheless. We know the Santana family in the crowd normally is part of the catalyst for the Oaks' success. Nonetheless, though, the Oaks up 5-2. 2 away now for Chase Cockrell, homered in his last at-bat. Before that, 0 for 2. 1 for 2 with a run scored. 2 RBIs and a home run. Running Rebel digs in, swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1.
And Santana's parents definitely vocal but respectful in the fans, always just supporting the Oaks heavily.
0-1, cut on a miss for strike number 2. Took something off on that. Davis sidesteps and deals, though, 2. Taken low for ball 1. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Catch. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 1-2, just misses low once again. That evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shout out to Chase's mother, Sandra. She was present at the beginning of July. She was in Santa Barbara with us for the 4th of July game. It was nice to meet her. 2-2. Runs away, 3-2 the count. So Cockrell working his way back. And now faces a full count.
And he's been showing great patience, laying off those 0-2 and then 1-2 pitches.
Payoff pitch. Slap towards third, but out of play as it finds its way into the Oaks dugout. Cockrell staying alive once again with 2 away. Cat scored first in the first 2 innings, plating 1 run in the first and 1 run in the second. The Oaks responded with a run in the third, and then 4 runs in the 7th to be up 5-2. The 3-2 gets in the left field under the glove of Booman at third, and Cockrell works his way back from 0-2 to a 3-2 count and takes the second 3-2 pitch he sees after he fouled off the first one into left field for a single.
Once again, 2 outs. Somehow the Oaks able to generate hits.
Now batting number 24, Juan Gonzalez.
That'll bring up Juan Gonzalez now. 0 for 2 on the day with a walk, a run scored, a flyout, and a ground out. Stepping into the batter's box, the 0-0 sliced into center field. Running back on it is Pacoda at the wall, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Through 7.5 here from Biola University in La Mirada, California. Oaks lead at 5-2. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back.
Things off for the catch in the 8th inning. The second baseman, number
Bottom 8 from Biola. Oaks up 5-2. Toby Johnson in the number 2 spot for the catch, leading things off. Angus Denton still on the mound for the Oaks in his second inning of work. Johnson on the day 1 for 2 with a walk, an RBI single, and a ground out. Takes the first pitch for strike 1. Oh, 1 quickly dealt from Denton. Paints the outside corner. 0-2 the count. Since we left you last, by the way, the Blues tied it up with the Foresters 1-1 on a home run by Andrew Ramos. That is a very important game to keep tabs on because the Oaks and the Blues currently duking it out for second place in the CCL Central. 0-2 runs out of play. We'll do it again. If the Oaks win and the Blues lose, the Oaks will solidify second place right now in the CCL Central. And they need that second place spot because the second place at the end of the season, the second place team in the Central will get into the playoffs. 0-2 runs upstairs, 1-2 the pitch, or the count, excuse me. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Foresters, or excuse me, for the Catch. All these teams are messing around everything that's going on. 1-2 popped up towards third. Mayu running back on it, and he can't make the catch as that ball will be foul. So yeah, we'll keep you posted on the Foresters and the Blues. You can go to the Foresters iScore on SantaBarbaraForesters.com to keep track of yourself, or go on the San Luis Obispo Blues Twitter. Again, the Oaks need the Blues to lose in order to solidify that second place spot if the Oaks win today. And those two teams will be playing tomorrow in San Luis Obispo. The 1-2 skied into shallow right field. Weinstein out of second base will call off beam and make the catch for out number 1.
And that's why it emphasizes this game right here to win, because you can only control the things you can control. And if the Oaks can end up holding on to this win, and then typically maybe some luck will find their way and the Foresters will beat the Blues, and then they're in control of their own destiny.
Shea Whitcomb steps in and takes a strike at the knees, strike 1. Whitcomb 0 for 3 on the day. Will look to turn his day around. Had a good day yesterday in the number 3 spot. Reached base 3 times on 2 singles and a walk. Swings and misses at the 0-1. Count is now 0-2. Denton really in the driver's seat right now for the Conejo Oaks. 0-2. A fastball, cut it and missed. Good morning, good evening, good night, Mr. Whitcomb. 2 away now. 3 strikeouts on the day for Denton.
He's been pitching extremely well. Fluid with his motion, efficient, hasn't had to utilize many pitches. Just a great reliever for Coach Solis.
Cleanup batter Steven Garrett digs in now. 2 for 3 on the day with 2 singles, an RBI, and a stolen base. Takes the first pitch away for ball 1. Denton caused Toby Johnson to fly out and struck out Shea Whitcomb to get 2 outs on the board here in the top of the 8th. Oaks up 5-2, 1-0. Sky deep to right center field. Miller at the wall. Will miss the ball as he almost collided with Lewis, and Garrett will stand up at second base. With a stand-up double, the ball was mishandled over at second base by Weinstein, but Denton backing up was able to get it. Lewis and Miller very dangerous out there in left center field. Both almost collided. Miller got a grasp on the ball but couldn't hold on to it. And that will be a rule to base hit.
A nice deep shot from Garrett, with Coach Solis walking up to the mound.
David Solis, the head coach for the Oaks, 6th year as the head coach, 11th with the team overall, stepping up to the pitcher's mound to have a conversation with Denton and with Gonzalez. A couple of words. He's also taken over pitching duties this year. Coach Hernandez, from years past, announced his retirement from the Oaks. So some double duty for the esteemed CCL coach. Coached the CCL All-Star game last week. Got the win 8-4 for the South. And now trying to coach his team to a playoffs. Remember, they lost in the championship last year. You know, Solis is not happy with that and wants to redeem himself. Playoffs within sight for the Oaks, but still a lot of work to be done. Meeting breaks. Angus still out there. And Evan Sandman steps in. 0 for 3 on the day, 2 flyouts and a pop out. The lefty all-star, 1 of 3 for this team, along with Steven Garrett and Omar Ortiz. Time called behind the dish by Gonzalez. Lay to land for you here for the Oaks. Milo Beeman right, DJ Miller in center, Brandon Lewis in left. Graham Mayu over at third. Sam Shaken at short. Rest of the infield here in just a moment, though. Oh, taken for strike 1. Max Weinstein over at second. Cody Santana occupies first, and Juan Gonzalez behind the dish. Oaks up 5-2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 away, runner in scoring position, though. Steven Garrett just doubled. 0-1 from Denton. Skied into center field. Running over to it is Miller along with Lewis. And Lewis will make the over-the-shoulder catch. No, they're actually going to say that hit the wall and came back to Lewis. So that'll score a run. It looked like Lewis caught it, but it actually hit the wall before it came in. So an RBI double for Evan Sandman. Cuts the lead to 2 now. Oaks up 5-3 with 2 away and a runner at second.
Oaks have to continue to stay locked in
Jonathan Dukoff.
and poised down the stretch. They lead it now 5-3. Still a good position, but just have to keep their foot on the gas.
First pitch into Jonathan Dukoff is taken for ball 1 inside. Denton, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, and a run under his belt. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Catch. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Oaks. The 1-0, half-hearted swing. Appeal down the first, saying he didn't go. 2-0 the count now. Time called from the batter's box. Another situation in this game where the Catch, as it looks like a pinch runner will come out. It will, so I'll get back to my point here in just a moment, as the pinch runner is Anthony Seminaris from the University, or from Arkansas Fort Smith, out of Chino Hills. Got the start yesterday, played right field. Today as a pinch runner in place of Evan Sandman. Another situation in today's game where the Catch capitalized on 2-out situations. They've scored 2 of their 3 runs with 2 outs now in this game. Dukoff steps in, 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a single. Takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Sandman was a DH, so Seminaris likely won't take the field. But we may see him in the DH spot if this game is extended at all. 3-0, whipped in there for strike 1.
Wise pitch to lay off for Dukoff. Recognize he's up in the count 3-0. Wants to test Denton. Now he's got a free swing.
3 balls, 1 strike. Denton checks the runner at second. Deals the 3-1 at the knees for strike number 2. A beautiful fastball. Dukoff sleeping a little bit on that one. And now Angus Denton with a payoff pitch pending. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, 1 around in the inning. The payoff pitch slapped back against the screen, and we'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
You can be sure Dukoff wishes he could hold back his swing because that was a low pitch. He recognized it. He knew right after he hit it. He probably should have laid off, but nonetheless gives Denton one more opportunity to try and get out of the inning.
Denton takes his time on the rubber in the stretch. Gonzalez with the sign. Payoff pitch. Swung and a missed. 4, strike 3. Nice pitch from Denton. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. 4 strikeouts on the day for Denton. Oaks lead at 5-3. It's getting interesting as we head to the top of the 9th inning. Oaks will try to extend their lead a little bit right here at Biola University on the other side of this break. You're watching Oaks Baseball. We'll be right back. Top of the 9th inning, Sam Shakin steps in, takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Welcome back, everybody. Oaks up 7-3, or excuse me, 5-3. Wow, almost blew that out of proportion a little bit. Excuse me, up 5-3. The top of the 9th, Shakin in the number 9 spot. Takes the 1-0 for strike 1 at the letters. Connor Davis back out there. On the day for Shakin, 1 for 2. Single run, a walk, and a ground out. Davis deals the 1-1. Taken inside for ball 2. 2-1. Over the heart of the plate, evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Oaks, 3-9 and nothing in the same categories for the catch. Foresters take a 3-1 lead, by the way, over the Blues in the top of the 2nd inning. So that's big for the Oaks. The Foresters need to beat the Blues, and the Oaks need to hold on to win today. 2-2 cut back. We'll do it again in order to maintain that 2nd place spot in the Central. And that 2nd place spot means so much because it turns into a 1st place spot once the Foresters forego the playoffs next week. Davis takes the sign and his time from Fisher. I'll give you the lay of the land here in just a moment. Toes the rubber. Kicks and fires the 2-2. Inside for ball 3. No, they're going to say it skinned Shakin's jersey, and that'll be a hit by a pitch, the 2nd time in as many games for Shakin. And he's over at first base. Lay of the land for you here as we go back to the top of the order for Milo Beam. Jonathan Dukoff in right, Nate Pacoda in center, Grant Robinson left, Stephen Garrett over at first, Toby Johnson at 2nd, Shea Whitcomb at short, Mitch Booman, at 3rd behind the dish, Tyler Fisher. Connor Davis on the mound on the day for Beam. 1 for 4 as he takes the first pitch for ball 1. Strikeout, 2 flyouts, and a bunt single. Stole 2nd and came around to score back in the 7th inning. The righty on the mound from Creighton. Toes the rubber, kicks and fires. The 1-0, bunt shown, pulled back outside for ball 2. Beam digging back in. Runner goes, bunt shown, missed. The throw over to 2nd is not in time and Shakin will be at 2nd with a stolen base. A 2-1 count to Beam. He tried laying down the bunt, couldn't get it, but nonetheless, Oaks have a runner in scoring position with nobody away.
3rd stolen base now for the Oaks. They're doing a much better job as opposed to yesterday of recognizing and following the pitcher better.
2-1, bunt shown, pulled back, 3-1 now. Beam really showing that bunt, but he's taking these pitches wisely as well. Shakin waiting at 2nd base. On deck, Max Weinstein. Beam lays that bat to rest over his shoulder. To 3-1, skied, foul out of play. And we'll do it again, this time with 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Fly deep to left field. Running back on it is Robbins. He makes the catch. Tagging from 2nd to 3rd is Shakin. The throw bounces over the glove of Booman, but is backed up by Davis. Nonetheless, a productive out for Beam. Advances Shakin from 2nd to 3rd, and the Oaks have another runner 90 feet away from scoring at home plate.
This could be a big opportunity for the Oaks with just 1 away. Weinstein's already delivered 3 RBIs, looking for a potential 4th. And who else but Shakin could be the beneficiary of that for the 3rd time.
Max Weinstein, 2 for 4 on the day, 3 RBIs. Strikeout and a flyout, digging in. Another opportunity for an RBI as he takes a strike over the heart of the plate. An uncharacteristic first pitch take for Weinstein. Normally he tries swinging at them. There took it, but it was a perfect pitch. Davis comes set and deals the 0-1. Slapped back over the glove of Fisher for strike number 2. The Oaks will be in San Luis Obispo tomorrow for a 6 o'clock game, local time. Friday in Santa Barbara at 5 o'clock for their second to last game against the Foresters. They finish off their 4-day road trip in Pasadena on Sunday at 1:05 against the Saints. On Sunday, they're at home against the Ventura Pirates, and then on Monday, they're back home against the Foresters. The Oaks finish their season next Wednesday in San Luis Obispo against the Blues. Davis comes set. Pearson fires the 0-2. Slapped back once again against the fence, and will do it again for a third straight time. Davis toes the rubber, takes the side, and deals the 0-2. This one, Weinstein gets a handle on. It's roped into right center field. That's going to drop and go to the wall. Shakin comes in to score. Weinstein over to second, and the Oaks take a 6-3 lead here in the top of the 9th inning on the RBI double by Max Weinstein. He's now 3 for 5 on the day with 2 doubles, a triple, and 4 RBIs.
He is just unbelievable. This guy's nonstop. His motor is nonstop, and he's been huge for this Oaks. He's contributed to 4 of the runs for the Oaks, and it's always nice if you're Sam Shakin, the beneficiary of 3 of those, and Weinstein just trying to carry the team on his back and give them a much-needed win.
Oaks now take a nice 6-3 lead as Brandon Lewis steps in. Takes the first pitch away for ball 1. Lewis on the day 0 for 4, a pair of strikeouts and a pair of flyouts. Looking to turn his day around. But the Oaks trying to get this win. With the Blues losing right now, and the Oaks currently winning. This game means that much. 1-0. 2-0 now as that one's taken outside. 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 3 runs and 9 hits, no errors for the Catch. It's actually been a relatively clean game. Both sides without an error. Overall, the fielding's been pretty phenomenal. Mayu waiting on deck. 2-0. Skied back against the fence, and we'll do it again, 2-1. For the Catch, they head to play the Royal Seco Saints tomorrow. First of a 2-game series against them. Lewis with a couple of practice swings, waves that bat over his right shoulder. The 2-1, roped high and deep to left field. Robbins at the wall will make the grab just a little bit short. That was a nice hit, but unfortunately just came down a little too early for out number 2. 2 flyouts, a run scored, and a walk, along with an RBI double in the inning. Weinstein still at second. 2 away, 1 around. Oaks up 6-3. Grant Mayu now 0 for 4. 3 pop-ups and a ground out under his belt, looking to change his day around. Davis checks Weinstein at second, deals the 0 for strike 1.
Beautiful pitch from Davis on the inside corner, looking to respond after giving up a run.
Mayu taking back in. 0-1 dealt. Cut towards short, backhanded by Whitcomb. The fire over to first is off the bag, but Garrett able to not tag Mayu as he runs all the way around him and dive to first base to be safe. What a play by Grant Mayu, showing the sidestep, kind of twirling around. He must be a good dancer because that's exactly what he did there. That's an infield single for him. And by the way, Weinstein came around to score on that, so that'll be an RBI single, and the Oaks take a 7-3 lead.
What a play. We've seen a couple players for the Oaks be able to evade tags in the past. Milo Beam evaded one yesterday, but once again, Mayu displaying the athleticism, able to adjust and tag the base.
First pitch runs low into Miller for ball 1. They're actually going to give it an error as the throw was off the bag. Now, it's interesting because the tag could have been placed regardless. So that run is unearned. They're going to make it an E6. 1-0 runs outside, 2-0 now to Miller, 1 for 4 on the day. But nonetheless, the Oaks will take it. That run will be unearned, so only one of the 2 runs earned in the inning are, or one of the 2 runs around in the inning are earned. 2-0, cut on a miss, 2-1 the count. Two away, 2 around in the inning. 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 3, 9, and 1, the same categories for the catch. The 2-1 glides outside the zone. 3-1 the count. Miller, one of the 5 Oaks All-Stars this season. Max Weinstein, Robbie Medell, Evan McMillan, and Juan Gonzalez. The other 4. All-Star game took place a week ago in Compton, California. The 3-1 cut on a miss for strike number 2. DJ Miller was the first batter that Davis faced back in the 8th inning when he came in to pitch. Had Miller fly out to center, but now a payoff pitch here pending. It's dealt. Runner goes outside for ball 4, and Miller draws a 5-pitch walk. Actually, a 6-pitch walk, my mistake, to advance to first base. Mayu over at second, and the Oaks with a runner in scoring position once again in 2 away have Cody Santana up to bat.
Nice patience shown from Miller. Didn't get too enticed from that payoff pitch. Instead, now puts a second runner on base for the Oaks.
Looks like Zane Willems will get set to come in and pinch hit if we get to him in the inning and place to Chase Cockrell. First pitch to Santana runs low and in for ball 1. Santana digs back in. One 0 pitch, taken low for 2-0. Davis comes set, deals the 2-0. Skied into center field. Pacoda running back on it, makes the catch for out number 3. 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base actually. We're through 8.5 here, the final breath of hope for the catch coming up in the bottom of the 9th. Oaks up 7-3. We'll be right back.
Now batting for the catch, number 17.
Bottom of the ninth, here from Biola University in La Mirada, California. Thank you for sticking with us as Ty Harper now is on the mound for the Oaks to try to close this game out. Wouldn't be a close save per se, but first pitch to Booman is on the outside corner for strike one. Harper now from Texas Tech. Shout out to his mother, Cynthia. So as the rubber Pearson fires, though, 1 popped back, 0-2 now. On the day for Booman, 0 for 3, a pop out of fly out and hit into a double play. Rest of the Oaks field still the same. Denton, by the way, went 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 4 strikeouts, no walks. 0-2, 2 Hopper to second. Weinstein on the glove, tosses it over to Santana for out number 1. Oaks 1 out now away from, or excuse me, 2 outs away from taking today's game. The Forest is still up 3-0, actually 3-1 on the Blues in the top of the 4th inning. That's a big game. If the Oaks win and the Blues lose, they'll solidify the second place spot in the Central. Tyler Fisher steps in.
Catch, number 18, Tyler Fisher.
On the day, 0 for 1 with the strikeout and 2 walks, takes the first pitch inside corner for strike 1. Harper now, normally a short relief pitcher for the Oaks, out of Texas Tech, Arkansas native. Today, looking to finish the game out. 0-1, cut and a miss for strike number 2, a nice fastball there. Fisher down on the count. 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Catch. Final game of the season. If the Oaks hold on the win, they'll at least take 1 game and avoid the sweep. Catch won the first 2. 0-2. A curveball bouncing in front of the plate. 1-2 the count. Harper now in his free time likes to play video games, something that he and I discuss frequently. He is an avid PlayStation 4 gamer. He actually has a long-standing argument with Zane Willems, who will be his Texas Tech counterpart at catcher this upcoming season. Is the 1-2 called strike 3 at the knees. 2 away now. First strikeout on the day for Harper now. Long-standing argument is that PlayStations are better than Xboxes. Willems affirms that Xboxes are better because they're made in the United States, or the company is based in the United States. Microsoft up in Palo Alto, and Harper now says that doesn't matter even though Sony is based in Japan.
Would you really expect a different answer from Willems, given he's probably the biggest fan of America and the USA
Willems
on the team?
Willems is definitely a diehard Patriot. 2 away, bottom of the order. Now the number 9 hitter in the lineup. It's actually going to be a pinch hitter in place of Nate Picoda. Omar Ortiz steps in. Takes the first pitch for strike 1. Picoda's day is done. 1 for 3 with a single, a fly out, and a ground out. And Ortiz will look to be the last breath of hope here for the Catch. He had that walk-off home run back on July 6th when these two teams played. 0-1, taken for strike number 2, and now just trying to get on base. Down 7-3 with 2 away here in the bottom of the 9th inning. But now down on the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Harper now going right at him. Ortiz started yesterday, was pinch hit for, went 0 for 3 with an RBI sacrifice. 0-2, slapped foul, and Ortiz fighting to stay alive here. Will do it again. Ortiz from the University of the Pacific, a Las Vegas, Nevada native, headed to his sophomore year. 5'11", 215 pounds, one of the 3 All-Stars for the Catch. Harper now takes the sign from Gonzalez. Pearson fires the 0-2. Skied out of play, and we'll do it again. The Oaks short-staffed on pitching. No Kenny Johnson. 0-2. Cut on a miss for strike 3. The throw over to first will be in time, and that'll be it. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We can go home. Oaks win it. 7-3, the final line for you here. 7 runs on 10 hits. No errors for the Oaks. 3 runs, 9 hits, and an error for the Catch. The Oaks advanced to 24-14, 16-12 in the CCL. The Catch dropped to 13-23 9-20 in the CCL. Jonah, the Oaks offensively looked more sound. They hit the double-digit hit mark. They got runners around when they needed to, and they had that big home run by Chase Cockrell. Overall, I'd say that this is a very productive day for them and something that they could capitalize on these very important away games down the road.
And especially just given the way that the most recent game against this team ended, losing in the bottom of the 11th isn't exactly ideal, especially when the Oaks coming into that game were riding a 4-game winning streak, had that snap, but looking to start another one, starting with today, a much needed bounce back win, I'd say, for this team, both psychologically, given the fact that the result the last time these two teams were here wasn't exactly in their favor, but I think also most importantly, it's always good to get the first road win of a long road game stretch under your belt and in the W's column, because we've talked about it. There are a couple tough road games coming up tomorrow: San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara. So, but overall, just a great game for the Oaks today.
Winning pitcher Angus Denton, losing pitcher Hunter McIntosh. No save as Harpenau closed things out for the Oaks. Well, that's going to do it for us here from Biola University. Game time, 2 hours and 47 minutes from first pitch to last out. For everybody who made this broadcast possible, a big thanks to the SoCal Catch staff for making sure that we were up on the air beautifully. For everybody else who made this broadcast possible, head coach David Solis, our statistician Keith Schneider, and my broadcasting partner Jonah Malkin. My name is Jonathan Rifkin signing off. We'll see you tomorrow in San Luis Obispo. 6 o'clock Pacific first pitch time. We'll be on there at 5:50 for that one. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. On to San Luis Obispo tomorrow for an important game. My name is Jonathan Rifkin signing off, wishing you a wonderful rest of your day.